welcome to Delinquents. We're glad to be back with all of these amazing people. I was worried some of you weren't going to make it, and I'm very glad to see that you did. So
I'm glad to see you too.
yes, you and everybody else and individuals who might have been tired and whatnot, I do see you. I do appreciate you, and I thank you for being here. Jackal, you're amazing. Nora, you're amazing. Glenn, you're amazing too. And Kai. And I guess Benjamin. And sometimes Atomic. I mean, you're all...
Thank you.
I feel seen.
So, yeah, tonight, speaking of all of these lovely individuals, we're going to go around the table and we're going to say hello to them. And we're going to find out a little bit more about them that maybe we didn't know. We don't necessarily spend enough time learning about the actors behind the act, about the secret players and pullers of the strings of all the individuals and the magical beings that sometimes get to talk to those people in this game. So, here we go. First one tonight is going to be Ben. You're up first. Congratulations.
I thought I was always 4.
No, I've gone backwards now.
Oh, yes.
Hey, what up, everybody? I'm TT Benjamin, and something that you might not know about me is that I'm the host and dungeon master of the Lawful Great Adventures podcast, a 100% issued podcast.
Everybody knows that.
Ugh. What is important about me that informs me as an actor? Jeez.
That tramp stamp you have?
Yeah. I have a tramp stamp of Atomic's goatee. You're
married, right?
Yeah, she doesn't care.
They don't need to know.
No,
Yeah.
but like, how long?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm married, no kids. That's nice. Let's see
Okay.
here. Pretty cool being a dink. I was in, maybe people know this, maybe people don't. I was in the army. I was in Afghanistan and Kosovo, actually. Yeah, I was in Afghanistan in 2004. In the Ghazni province on the eastern side, about 120 kilometers from the Pakistan border. So that I was 19 years old. Yeah, I was in Afghanistan, stayed in a little longer, did a trip to Kosovo. Gun to my head, I would take Kosovo over Afghanistan again. Kosovo's nice. I highly recommend it if you can get past the cordons. But yeah, so that's sort of my misbegotten youth, and that's how I paid for college, kind of. I still have student loans somehow.
Yeah, those things don't ever seem to go away. I was probably this close to joining you.
Oh yeah,
just so you're aware. We'll move on from there, and we'll go to Kai. It's your turn, Kai.
All right. Well, my name's Kai. You can find me as the host and dungeon master of the Lawful Great Adventures podcast.
Something you didn't know about Kai.
I suppose something that a group of people wouldn't know about me is I don't know. I talk about myself on Twitter a lot. So I guess I'll talk about somebody else. I have a twin brother who is exactly like me. Now that I've cut all of my hair off, he looks exactly like me. So eventually you might find him on one of these streams.
That'd be interesting to see. I still have never seen this twin brother, and I still ascribe to the idea that the two of you just switch places on occasion, and none of us just know.
Yeah.
Probably fair.
Those moments when Leifei's acting particularly absent-minded, we know that that's Kai's brother.
You can tell the difference between Kai and his brother because Kai's brother drinks wine straight out of the bottle.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And we'll move along from there to Atomic. Your turn, Atomic.
Oh, God, I have nothing prepared. Hi, everybody. I'm Atomic. You can find me doing things at ttv_atomic0, Twitch TV, all that Atomic Zero stuff like that. I am also the host of the Lawful Great Adventures podcast, occurring on Thursday nights.
Seeing a recurring theme here.
Yeah, but it's actually weirdly titled as the Espergenesis Revelations with Ben over there. Things people don't know about me. I'm largely secretive, so that's probably a whole lot. What's the most interesting thing? I've had a cataract in my right eye my entire life, so I'm practically blind if it wasn't for one good eye. So that's always fun. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. We'll leave some mystery.
Oh, man of mystery. All we know is that he's the one-eyed man. That's the
Basically.
secret.
Yeah.
We'll move from there, and yeah, cataracts suck. We'll move from there over to Nora. You're up next.
Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Nora, and I also host the Lawful Great Adventures podcast. I don't know if you knew, but when I'm not there, you can find me here. Have we done a tell people things about yourself
That's what
already?
that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to remember because I tell people things about myself, and I forget what I've told them, so I wind up telling them the same thing.
We had this same thing in episode 3 of last season, so it's been a long time.
Okay, so did I tell you guys that I studied viola for 14 years when I was in school?
I don't think so.
It's
Well,
news
it
to
did.
me. But...
And then I've also studied a couple other musical instruments. So
We heard about a couple of them. I believe at one point you and Ben talked about maybe having a band situation, but
yes. Let's see. Well, that doesn't. I can remember dreams I had when I was 5 years old, and I've been doing that since then.
oh, that's crazy. I can't remember any because I don't dream. The only dreams I have are made into the games that we're playing.
That explains a lot, actually.
Next up, we'll move on to Jackal, the other mysterious individual in this group.
All right, Ty, what's your poison?
Probably
Oh, these...
probably
Arsenic?
overeating almonds. That's my poison.
Do you want a dark secret? Do you want unknown love attraction? Do you want attempted murder? Do you want?
Let's stick with the lighter stuff for now. So give us something that is simple that people might not know about you.
I'll be right back. I've got something.
All right. Well, when he returns, he'll have a thing.
I'm right
He's bringing-
here.
He's so
He's
far
coming
away.
back. He's coming back
Yeah.
with the entire Lawful Great Adventures podcast.
The
So I'm
entire-
going to show medical records on stream, so give me a moment to black some things out. How many of you are familiar with what a thoracic cage is?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
So the long and short of it is, back in 2011, I had a surgery. This surgery involved having the front of my rib cage opened up and a metal bar put in.
Oh.
Wow.
And I'll never forget the second time I go in for the surgery. I look at the surgeon and I go, so if anything pops on my chest, just give it to the Wayland Yutani Corporation. 5 minutes later, I was speaking with legal about a possible biohazard outbreak. And how what I said could have possibly gotten me kicked out of the surgical ward at one of the major hospitals in Chicago.
People can't take a joke. Apparently, they think aliens are real.
So they put 2 more bars in my chest and called it a day.
There you go.
Unfortunately, it barred me from the military.
Oh, Bard. Got it. Too
Hmm.
many.
Actually, that wasn't meant as a pun, but I appreciate your sadism in that regard.
Just
It works.
take it,
works.
yeah.
And finally, but of course not leastly, Gwen, you're up.
Hello, hello. My name is Gwen. I am also the host of the you know that, and so is my husband.
Doyle's version is kind of one of those pan hipster slash.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. I fun Gwen fact. I was 36 years old before I saw an ocean.
Oh
Wow.
Like not even on TV.
Well, I mean on TV, but in person.
Well, traveling, you can see all kinds of different things at all different points in life. So, who just wasted a nat 20? I just saw a nat 20.
I'm sorry. Sheldon did.
That didn't actually show up on screen. Can you individuals roll from your character sheets for me? Because we were having some problems with rolls yesterday.
From our sheet or from the bar?
from your character sheet and from your NPC sheets, if you would. So your character sheets seem to be working fine. But if you would, give me a couple from your alts. Those seem to be coming through for everybody. There's Burry. Okay. Yeah, they seem to be working. Okay. So, yeah, there were some weird connection issues the other day, unfortunately. Hello, Temporal Mechanic, KM Steer, Annika, and everybody else that decides to come out here and watch us yahoos. Thank you very much for popping in tonight. Hopefully we entertain you. Last time here on Delinquents, since now that we've seen and heard a little bit from everyone, we happen to have been in Cacardia, wandering about, not getting into any trouble, stopping by an Ace Hardware. I mean, it was all simple times, and then everything went sideways, as it usually does. An arena fight against the tyrant, a June Doe, turned into a bunch of grenades being launched that probably would have murdered individuals if quick thinking and chaos hadn't interceded. Lefe and Umbra seem to have disappeared entirely. Franco and our friend the boss getting into a whole bunch of trouble while standing there with Clarion, who had been informed that some sort of program had completed that she wasn't aware was there. B and our friendly neighborhood Quelena, as well as Roland and who was the other one that was there at the time? That was Basil. Had all been teleported away to some different location that seems to be tied to the machine god and possibly to Clarion's old master. We'll have to see what happens with that in the future. So at the moment, I will bring up our map again just to see where we're at. Arena, beasts, Cacardia. There we are. So we have our main Cacardia map up here right now with people roughly in the areas that they're actually in. And we've got Conrad right at the moment. I left you out because we're going to start off with Conrad. Conrad had gone to speak with some of the individuals that were unionizing to a degree and had wanted better working conditions, offering to provide a blueprint that would provide them with opportunity to create on their own, to reconstruct matter into things that would be very beneficial to, I don't know, making sure the ship doesn't fall apart, the outpost doesn't fall apart, and gives them safer conditions. Had worked out a deal to potentially trade some fuel barrels for those blueprints. So Conrad, we see you walking down on the south section of Cacardia, near the private bays. Some of the other individuals there with you are walking beside you and are kind of pointing out some of the stuff that's destroyed and messed up and just kind of giving you the lay of the land as they're making their way towards where they can find your fuel. So what do we see you doing at the moment with your weird creature? Was it a hamster that you had with you?
Yes. And he's a good boy. Thank you very much.
So, what does it look like you're doing as we're walking through this area? You can see some of the more expensive, some of the more dangerous-looking vessels here docked. People that are well-known ruffians in the neighborhood, although they wouldn't be familiar to you because you're not from this existence, do seem to be in the area.
Well, they walk past the gunfire and the explosion that's going off, casually talking. A round whips by. Conrad shouts back something to the tune of, "Keep it down over here, we're talking." All right, so... So this person and this person is giving you problems. This person responds to this. This person, he's essentially setting up an organized security force out of the union workers.
So as the union workers are kind of walking down the halls, and I think wasn't it Marcus? What was the name of the character that I had? I can't remember because I lost my page. I've got to find it.
Marcus
I recommend a
sounds
librarian.
Marcus, yeah. So Marcus is there kind of leading the crew around and looks over to you and just goes, "All right, so getting the fuel is going to be a little bit of an operation. How are you creating a scene?"
What kind of scene?
I need you to draw off a few security agents so that me and the boys can all get inside of a warehouse and collect some of these things for you real quick.
Male or female?
Probably a little of both, a little of none.
Married?
That, I don't know. They all wear masks. Hard to tell who they are until we get in close and talk to them.
How long have they been at their post?
Few hours.
Alright, I'm gonna need a little machine oil. And whatever passes as cologne here.
It's cologne. Gregor, you got that, weird floral stuff your wife gave you? Yeah, that's mine. Not right now, it's not. We're gonna use it.
How much? Yeah. I just need a little bit.
Make sure you don't spill much. The wife really likes it. I can't replace this stuff, it's made out of some sort of weird glandular thing from Rulo, and I just can't get any more.
For the strangest reason, Conrad smiles. He takes a rag out of his pocket. He dips. He pours some of it on there. He gives the bottle back and thanks him. All right. You'll get your distraction. Just try to keep the little ones away.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna head over into those marked buildings off to the side as soon as you get us a little bit of a clearing, so we can gather some of these and bring them out. You see, me and the boys are known pretty well at the moment, not really expected to be in the area. So you do your thing, we'll do ours. We'll hold up our end of our bargain, and you'll give us that blueprint.
Conrad is already greasing back their hair and rubbing on the cologne.
This stuff is thick and viscous and sticks to your hair quite a bit. As it starts to sink into the skin, you get a tingly sensation followed by a strong scent. A mixture of musk and sand and maybe a little hint of the evergreens.
Trying to think of the name of the drug name for it. Aphrodisiac. It's an aphrodisiac, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Probably or is.
I mean, it's a pheromone.
It is a pheromone, but we're over here and there's a freaking Tarrasque in the other room. Ty, I gotta know if it is or isn't.
It depends on the person.
Okay, so it's just sentient. It's cognitively. If I end up romancing the Tarrasque, the audience is gonna ask questions.
That's far away, and that thing's been blown into gibbets.
Alright. That's one less concern. And Conrad is going to flirt with the guard.
So Conrad comes around the corner. Roll the flirt. Give me a charming roll.
What's wrong?
We gotta see how successful you are here, okay? Oh, 19. So you come around the corner, you see 3 guards in suit, full armor, and helmets with face masks on. You can't tell who they are really, but one of them kind of turns to you, looking at the strangeness of your garb. Doesn't really seem to be much of a difference compared to the rest of the the ruffians and vagabonds that happen to peruse and travel across this outpost. And they kind of like move a little bit up, and one of them turns to you and goes, "You.
Me?
This is an area that's off limits."
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. And Conrad fumbles with their notebook, drops it on the ground, and bends at the waist to pick it up. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Oh, are you lost? The person comes over and helps you pick up the book off the ground. You can hear like a intake of breath.
Yeah. They. Hi.
Do I know you from somewhere? You don't head over to the Grey Lounge in the evenings, do you? You didn't dance there or something?
Maybe. A guy's gotta eat,
I thought this is the dancer from the other night. You see some of the soldiers nearby just go, Oh, really? And they start crowding around you.
And Conrad is milking them for attention, just casually taking steps back. Oh, you saw my dance. I didn't know I had such a noble crowd.
And awkward Conrad draws off the soldiers, and we'll return to that scene in a moment. We go from this bit of display to a scene of violence. Gunshots ringing about, crowd members hitting the ground. You see soldiers and mercenaries alike. At the same time, we see a couple of familiar faces as Killian and Franco are like sprinting away from this crowd, heads down a little bit, as there's just gunfire ringing through it, knives like stabbing in. Killian, what do you have? What do you have happen at the moment as you are rushing through this crowd, fully alarmed, aware, saw your rockets exploding everywhere? Yeah, that.
Killian is very tempted to just turn and fight because he's still not convinced that his mind isn't just decaying and that he is a god made flesh in his own dying prison. But his, I believe his goal will be, well, geez, probably it would be a bad idea to return to the ship. Are we headed north, south, east, or west right now?
Right now, you can make that decision. So you had been on the outside of the arena. Any way that you go has to be clockwise or counterclockwise, because there's a big section in the center you can't actually go through. So you can't run across the middle of this arena part of the map. The ship is north of you, and west is where all of those angry merchants are coming after you with weaponry, as well as the soldiers.
Is Killian alone, or do we got Franco
You have
and Clarion?
Franco and Clarion there at the moment.
Okay.
Clarion's pulling at you and trying to get you to go to the ship. I think very upset that you launched a bunch of grenades and just blew up Leifei and Umbra. So
what? That's what we were there to do. I did what I was supposed to do.
So how about this? How about this? The three of you are there now. Give me a scene and tell me where you go from there. So gunshots ring out. Suddenly Killian's hat goes and like spins around and has a hole in the top of it, like facing in the other direction. Franco, from where you're at, your tendrils come up and block a blade strike from someone in the audience that tried to just knife you. And Clarion, you can feel metal like shavings as bullets go around you, and Sheldon tries to protect you as best as possible. So what do we see the three of you doing right now? Give me the start of a scene.
All right, job's done. Let's go.
Excuse me, job's not done. Our crew members are still in there.
Well, do you want to find your way back around?
I told you not to. Hang on. Grabs the gun out of someone who's trying to bash it on him, and then just caves it through their skull. I told you not to fire. Why do you not fire, you impulsive old geezer?
Like there's a dude running up on Killian, and Killian just no look, like blasts him. What we got the grenade launcher specifically to blow up a space dragon. I fail to see how that's a mission failure.
I know.
Gunshot goes off.
This is a little. Don't tentacle out, tentacle back, rifle width. Boom, boom, boom. I told you there is a difference between acceptable losses and acceptable losses. This is not acceptable losses.
At that moment, two individuals kind of come at you, one from either side, one wielding a Bowie knife, the other one having a blackjack with like nails in it, as they swing at Franco. Franco, give me a roll. What stat do you wish to use, and tell me how?
Tentacle.
Tentacle is not a stat. So you can use magical for tentacles.
Yes, I said magical.
All right, go ahead and roll magical as both of these threats come towards you. There it goes, and 12. So you're able to disarm one of them, but another stab comes through, and you see like a gash just appear across Conrad's arm. And as the skin peels back from where you're standing, Killian and Clarion, you can see that there's like an open wound there, but the blood vessels just kind of curl a little bit and nothing comes out.
I'd like to think that Conrad has at this point lost just the sleeve on his shirt, and it's just getting steamier and steamier where he is.
We see Conrad just starting to strip a little bit inside of the other scene before we switch back to the chaos.
All right.
Well, this
which
is getting a little
direction?
ridiculous.
So
Fist
are
to
we gonna
face.
try to are we gonna try to extricate our allies or beat feet?
Are our allies left? Punch, 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 punch.
Another individual drops down in the crowd.
Clarion will scan for the life signs of Lefe and Selfies.
Give me an aware roll. A critical failure.
Is that
Alright.
before or after the? Is that before or after everything goes down a little bit?
This is no. She's got. You've got the scan. Remember, Conrad's way far away from everybody. So, Clarion, looking down below, you like scan down. You kind of get the wavy lights, and there is no living organisms in the bottom of that. You just see serious damage caused by explosions. There's meat piles everywhere.
I do not see them on the arena floor. Let us get back to the ship.
Sounds good. Grabs a shotgun from one guy, knocks it out of the guy, knocks the guy across the jaw with it, and then proceeds to point blank into a dwarf that's coming at him with a broken bottle.
See the dwarf just buckle over and fall.
Wilhelm
Killian
scream.
off to the side. That bottle flips through the air towards you.
Killian catches it and like brains a dude.
Shattered glass everywhere. The guy falls over onto the floor, creating a nice little stepping stone for you.
And then he kind of just starts like backtracking, and he's just like hip firing the gun, just kind of like keeping people off of them.
Franco, you're getting this weird notice. You're having this weird sensation as you look over. You could swear Killian never reloads his double-barreled shotgun.
How many
The-
rounds do you? He's struggling with a guy who's got a rifle with a bayonet on it. There's a tentacle wrapped around it, and he is trying to dislodge the rifle. How many rounds do you have in that thing?
I don't know. I lost count 8 years ago.
The bayoneted rifle goes flying towards Clarion.
Flips end over end in your direction.
Can I roll to catch it?
Yes, you can roll agile to catch. With an 11, you stumble a little bit, and you kind of do one of those, juggling it a little, but then you get a hold of it. As you go to cock it and turn it, someone like runs into the blade on the end and just kind of hangs there as you're holding onto it. It's close quarters. There's a lot of mayhem happening around you right now.
Inefficient, and she kicks him off the end of the bayonet.
He goes tumbling over into the arena. Falls down below. So which direction in the general maelstrom are you all heading? Are you going to head
Yes.
north, east, south, west?
Let's head.
North is the
North.
most direct.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Clarion, are you
Yeah.
heading north?
Yeah?
So you start moving through the crowd and heading north. Franco, which direction are you heading?
Well, Franco's still swashbuckling with a bayoneted rifle against 3 other guys and trying to beat the tar out of a kobold that's chewing on his boot with the other boot. Follows them north.
All right, so
And
you
then
start
beats the
moving.
kobold.
You have to like shake your shoulders a few times as multiple people grab you around the waist. A bunch of tentacles just launch them off of you.
I- Ty,
Yes.
can I roll agile in order to pull a pin off a grenade on one of the guys and just kick him into the others? I'm
Sure.
having too much fun with this maelstrom.
Give me an agile roll. Killian, what direction are you headed?
Killian's gonna watch Clarion's back, so he's but he's like keeping people off of her.
Okay, so staying in
Typically.
close, you see a couple of individuals kind of like running in this direction. A couple of rifles come up, aiming towards you and towards the automaton. Actually, most people tend not to be paying that much attention to a service automaton, as a matter of fact. As you're staring at them, you realize that standing closer to her tends to mean they're shooting at you, and that might hit her.
Oh, okay. Well, so then Killian will keep about like a safe like gap, but still, I mean, he's still headed north. So
Okay, so you start getting closer, and you see the guns pointing towards you and firing. Kind of like twist out of the way. Suddenly, you see like part of the arena nearby. There's some chairs there. Bunch of fluff just poof, right off to the side of where Clarion is at. So you step back a little ways, and you're like moving back and forth as people shoot people behind you that you're just kind of moving out of the way of to keep other targets down.
man, I wish this was this easy when I was alive.
What do you mean? You are alive.
Yeah, I mean, I feel alive. That's, but you know, you understand. You're a figment. You're a projection of my decaying mind. So you understand what all this is.
I strongly disagree with that assessment, but I will evaluate your mental health once we are in a safe situation.
I'm sure that will be very enlightening for both of us.
Yes, I'm sure it will be.
So, as you then proceed to come around this corner into Merck's Avenue, pretty much, you can hear the voice of the Shadow Mask that was out in the arena, kind of like raising up, yelling at some of his allies and whatnot. And then you just hear him over the radio just yell out, "Stop them! Stop those ones! There! With the robot and the weird tentacle guy and the cowboy! Kill them all and bring them to me! Wait, no! Capture them, but make sure they're... tie them up! No, cut them limb from limb, and then bring them to me!" And you see like a bunch of individuals just kind of turn and face you all. Gillian, you
dear.
begin to feel funny.
Like funny, haha, or
Like weird in the pit of your stomach.
um. Anyone else feel that?
No. What?
Oh, nothing. Just bad whiskey, I guess.
I feel weird, the way one would when they're. Why am I like this right now? This makes no sense. you-
So there's definitely like a crowd surging towards us.
Yes. A rather large crowd is starting to turn and come in your direction. You think that the voice of the Shadow Mask carries a lot more weight than you would have anticipated, as even individuals who have been fighting each other after hearing him have turned to curry favor and are now starting to face all of you.
Okay, Clarion starts spinning up her Aether Infuser.
Clarion's chest begins to like radiate light and a buzzing, vibrating noise.
I will give you one warning. Step out of the way, or you will be incinerated.
Give me a strong roll as you attempt to be a bit intimidating.
This is not gonna... I
others-
feel like the 2 is about correct.
The individuals around you just kind of, one of the guys starts walking forward, grabs a metal bat that he's got, you know, that happens to have a couple of little electro barbs on the end of it, and just goes, "What are you gonna do? Some sort of robot you got here?" You aim your shotgun at him, and one of his friends just leaps forward and just tries to chop your wrist off with a hatchet.
Hey, what the hell? Killian pulls out his boot knife and just guts him.
Give me an attack roll with the boot knife, so that'd be an agile.
Tyson, the Kobold Grenadier.
Kobold Grenadier goes off in the distance, boom, and causes the crowd to kind of run around to the sides.
We're rolling horribly tonight.
With that roll, however, the opponent rolled significantly worse. So you bring your boot knife up as he brings down his hatchet, and you catch him kind of mid strike, getting a hold of his wrist. So you're holding your dagger, and you've got his wrist with locked around the side of the blade and your own hand, and you're kind of struggling and holding it there. Give me a strong roll, as the two of you now are locked into some sort of strange dance of death.
Very strong is me.
The opponent gets a 17 to your
Not
15.
strong enough.
You see that
Oh,
dagger start pushing back, or the hatchet start pushing back in towards you as you're like sitting there with your arm up, and then you feel the blade like pierce the edge of your nose as a sharp sting happens.
Hey! That's my favorite. That's my favorite nose.
That's my favorite nose. Clarion, do you interfere? You're still winding up at the moment.
I mean, she's not that great at blocking, and she doesn't have much HP left, and she knows that her Aether Infuser does wound herself.
Mhm.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's taser the guy
All right,
with
so
the PDO.
she just lifts up her PDO, and then lightning goes shooting out. Give me an attack roll.
Oh,
Taser blasts into that individual's chest, and lightning arcs up his hand and into Killian's nose before the opponent like zips backwards and hits the floor, just like sparking teeth and everything.
I had him. It's fine.
A drip of blood just falls onto your lip.
yes. For now, it's fine. Until it's not.
Are you
The
gonna
rest of
incinerate
the-
these guys or not?
The rest of the crowd starts to come in a little bit closer when Killian, you feel even weaker than before. As you look down, you can see through your hand Back to the Future style.
What the hell?
It's
What?
not good.
Why am I disappearing?
I am unsure. Where is
Oh,
Roland?
This is it. This is the end of me. It's finally happening. I can feel the darkness closing in. All
Oh,
right.
Don't! And-
All right,
and shit,
benevolent
tentacles are trying to
robot
go up
lady. I'm not
Well, if
gonna
you
leave
don't
you.
want the darkness to close in faster, step back. And Clarion finishes winding up and shoots down the hallway.
A blast radiates out from your chest, causing a swath of damage. Do you try to hold back against anybody, or you just weave through the crowd?
Clarion is clearing a path.
Give me your attack damage roll, and we'll see how big of a path you clear. Ooh, nice. All right, so you blast out there, and you see this individual after individual kind of burning and staggering away from the shot. All right, so in that moment, Killian, you feel your feet begin to grow wobbly, wibbly wobbly. And everything becomes darker and darker in your vision.
This is it. It's over. It's over. And then Killian's just gonna start like laying waste into the crowd. Any of them that are left.
Bang, bang,
Just
stab.
bam.
Suddenly,
Blaze of
when
glory style.
your knife comes out and goes into someone's neck, but then it doesn't stop and it goes all the way through, and then suddenly it's just darkness all around you. Killian disappears from everybody else's vision.
No! Good party! Okay, now you've done it, Zuka. And just every single bladed implement Franco can get their hands, claws, tentacles, whatever on is up, is in the air. It is a blender of the Russian variety.
Blades and tentacles spinning, whirring, and tossing everywhere. You look over for a second, Franco, as you're in this maelstrom of blood and death, and Clarion's standing there looking to where Killian was and starting to head back towards the ship. When suddenly she's there one moment, and then you turn and you look back, and she's gone.
This is for you, robot lady. And Franco finally kicks off, like, full-on La Sombra mode. For those of you who don't know, Franco was from the Vampire the Masquerade Chicago by Night expansion. La Sombra are known for their Darwinistic personalities. Their basic instinct is to win at any cost. So Franco's objective came from the concept of he needs to show he's more powerful to Killian, to he needs to protect the crew that's left, to he needs to kill everyone now, and now is the time to kill everyone.
Suddenly, tendrils everywhere, blades out, guns firing. There's a hail of blood and death all around him, with Franco bathing in it and drinking it in. Every drop of this blood that he splatters across his own face causes a little bit more vibrance to appear in his skin, the wounds on him knitting closed, and it is a terrifying moment for anybody watching. We switch from that terrifying dance to Conrad dancing basically naked in front of a crowd of individuals, keeping their attention as well as possible. From that hardcore dance to this hardcore dance, Conrad, you are wiggling and jiggling your stuff, and you're keeping those individuals distracted as you see them going into the warehouse. Barrels start coming out, and then you close your eyes for one moment, And then suddenly you're standing there nearly naked in front of B and Roland and the rat person and Quaylina.
Is someone else's underwear on him?
Yep.
I feel like someone else's underwear would be on him.
Yeah, he's got somebody else's underwear. I don't know where it came from, but he's got that.
Yeah, Conrad is going to politely fold up the bra from someone else, set it down, and put on a shirt.
Were you
Mr.
expecting a
Accomplish.
tip?
I'm glad
'Cause
to
I
see
did
you're
enjoy
making
the
friends,
show.
Conrad.
I mean, I still have a spot available for it if you'd like.
I'll take you up on that later. And she palms him 2 silver.
2 silver come your way, Conrad.
And Conrad stuffs it in their retention band.
Franco, in one moment, you are a maelstrom of blood and death. In the next moment, all you can think about is puppies for some reason. And all around you, you see floating little, like, tufts in the air. And the sensation of embarrassment and joy at the same time.
This is a strange existence.
And then you realize you're inside that infernal dog creature's head again.
I see the pet has done his job adequately, haven't you? Shut up, Blender Man.
So,
Like me, Princess. They certainly like that.
from that moment, we switch to Leifei and Umbra. Standing amidst where the arena was, you see janitors brushing some very smooth marble all around you. You see plants and a gazebo filled with animals in some sort of strange zoo. The arena's gone, and now you are inside of a large circular, I guess, Metro Mart. There's a whole bunch of shopping centers everywhere. There's like coffee. There's, places where you can get blended drinks. This isn't the Cardia that you know. Leifei, you're somehow in the middle of Cerulean now.
We're both there, right?
Yeah, the
The
two of
same
you are standing
spot?
next to
Okay.
each other, and you're just in this. Basically, it's like a civilian shopping mart.
Umbra, I think we kicked so much ass that we turned this place good.
That seems like the only logical explanation, doesn't it? So, I'm not gonna ask any follow-up questions based on that, but yeah, something is definitely amiss here.
I think I heard some explosions.
Yeah, there's still a faint ringing in my ear, actually. I wasn't really paying attention. All of a sudden, I was there, I was fighting, and then I was on the ground, and then you were there, and now we're here. So, you want to grab a drink or something? Like, what else the hell are we gonna do? Like, right?
You look around and you smell the scent of cinnamon and coffee and maybe some caramel. And off to your left is a Deguile Bucks. You can see they've got a special 2 for 1.
What do you
Wizard reference.
say? Sure, yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I've had any like food that didn't come from a pouch or like a trash can. So I'm practically open.
Well, let's get you a. A lot of people like Dakara mint, so let's get you some Dakara mint.
Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll live a little, right? You gotta live a little before you die, right? Isn't that what they say?
You walk over towards the Deguile Bucks. You can see they've got scones of all varieties. And there's a Baji of some kind standing behind the counter. As you walk over towards it, you can see a little name tag that says Kyle. And as you step in there, he goes, "Oh, hey, nice to see the two of you. Welcome to the Deguile Bucks. You, dark little man that probably harbors deep shadows and regret. And you, elf person that looks a whole lot like a pirate. Nice to meet you both. Would you happen to enjoy yourselves a nice little libation? I've got all kinds of varieties and flavors."
Yes, we would.
Sure, Kyle.
Yes.
Very intriguing name you got there.
Kyle the Guile, at your service.
Kind of on the nose, don't you think?
I've never thought about it that way. I mean, Kyle doesn't rhyme with coffee or drinks or anything, though, so I don't know what you're talking about.
He's right. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
I'll get a table. It's fine. I'll just get the table. It's fine.
You're gonna buy the whole table? Great. They will give me a raise for this. That'll be 115 silver.
We're not buying the table. And Lefe like leans back with both elbows against the counter and is just like sweating profusely after having fought that giant.
Two of you look like you could use a frap or an ice beverage of some sort.
That's like when I look down and my right leg is has a massive gaping hole in it from when the fang or the horn stuck me to the ground. It's like, oh yeah, that's gonna. Do you have napkins?
Oh, yes. You see him reach under the counter and he brings up Guile scented napkins by the handful and hands them over towards you. Inside of these things, they are sanitary and they happen to plug those kinds of wounds quite a bit. They've got a clotting agent in them as well.
Holy shit, it says it on the pack. Well, that's weird. Okay, whatever.
You get a little bit of a wet wipe action and then it becomes sticky and then just sits on top of your wound.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that won't play out wrong. Yeah, it's fine.
Do you want me to fix that?
It's fine.
Yeah, he looks
That's not
totally
like half
fine. He's
your
not gonna
body
fall
that got
over and
taken
die or
away.
anything.
I don't really need the body as much, so it's kind of a vessel. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so there's something that's been kind of on my mind. You know, the whole near-death grenade shower thing kind of jumpstarts a few. So you seem to mention possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of reclaiming the throne. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. And he grabs the
Oh.
big owl bucks and hands him the other one.
Oh, thank you. So, it's hot.
He gave you ice drinks.
Oh, that's hot. Why is it so hot? Oh,
That's
God.
because your hands are on fire.
Oh, shit. You don't really know how Aether works. It's weird. But anyway, so, main follow-up question. Do you wish to do this in a similar manner as your ancestors? Or are you gonna have like a sunshines and rainbows kind of kingdom?
Your royalty? Royalty gets one drink for free a week.
Yeah, well, then.
That's good. Then it's 2 for 1. We'll take them for free.
All right, well, that's not how that works. Are you trying
do
to
you
scam
mean?
a man?
No.
Good, because scamming a man would be very, very mean to me. Please, that'll be 10 silver, and I will provide you with, let's see, how about a Crown Royal bar? He hands you a bar wrapped in purple.
Here's 20. Go over there. Just fuck right off.
Now that is inappropriate, but I will do as you ask because you paid me for it. And you see him just like turn and walk over towards the corner where he just sits there and pretends to clean while listening to you anyway.
What? Anyway, back to the question. Sunshines and rainbows, death and tyranny. Where on the spectrum?
Well, I'd prefer not death and tyranny, at least.
Okay, we're on a good start. Now just where's the ending of that?
Well, I don't see sunshine and rainbows in anybody's future.
Very solid point. Very solid point.
The thing is, and he starts to reach down underneath his bandana and grabs up the 2 stones he's got right now, and sort of like dangles them in his fingers, like I am right now, but I only have one right now.
As you lift it up, give me a magical roll there, Umbra.
Magical. Cha. 11.
11's not great, but it's not terrible. So the thing you notice is that you've seen and felt magic from A-stones, concentrated aetherite, you know? And usually that has a very specific feel to it. It just kind of buzzes. It's like caffeine for your senses. But when he draws these up, they go from being invisible to being like the brightest thing in the room for you.
pretty.
Yeah. Don't feel too uneasy. He like moves him towards his hand.
As one comes closer to you, you can definitely tell it has a ton of life aether in it because it begins to make your skin itch.
Ooh, that kind. All right. So you might not know this about me, but I'm kind of on the opposite side of light and ether. Like, I'm more death magic. So that is as pretty as it is, as shiny as it is. Doesn't really like. We're not copacetic.
Currently, it's giving you the sensation of maggots crawling across your face.
Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so I'm just okay, so I kind of have some bad memories from. Is it just kind of like?
He just pours it over his head.
So I don't really have good memories of the previous Elven Kingdom, as you probably could guess, since you are you. So I'm not exactly jumping for joy for the thought of it, but the whole like flying wing saving me thing, it does kind of affect an opinion, you know? So well, I would have just, literally blow up the DAD. But outside of that, I mean, if I'm still alive, that is, I would.
Yeah, that's what I was questioning. It sounded
Yeah,
like
well,
you
a
didn't
lot of people
imagine it in
do.
the past.
I think I'm just gonna at the end of this too. I might just ride the bomb in. You don't know. Some kind of last hurrah, something like that. But if I am still alive after all that, I wouldn't be terribly opposed to the idea of, potentially assisting with that, considering the people that could stop me, I mean, could get in our way, I mean, could be a hurdle, would be largely taken care of.
Well, the problem is, if anybody wants to take these, which the reason why I showed them to you, they're the pieces of the old crown.
Ah.
There's a few of them. We're searching for one. One's on many places. I don't know where all of them are, but
Give me an aware roll real quick, Leify.
Sure, yeah. Bang bang, a +4 on a 13.
18?
18. Nice.
Oh, right, I have a benefit.
So, as you say that, you do have the ability to kind of sense location. You feel one nearby.
Nearby?
Yes.
Like how? How nearby? Like in the coffee
you
stand?
look over and start to feel for it.
Kyle,
It's probably 10 or 15 feet below the zoo.
And I'm feeling a bit of one close by right now, strangely.
Are you talking about that crystal that they used to power the station and keep it flying?
Oh, for the love of God, Kyle, shut the fuck up. God, this is an A and a B conversation. See yourself the fuck off.
Excuse me there, little man, but I happen to be turning and doing my just duties, making sure that I'm taking care of everything here and other customers other than you exist, and you're talking very loudly 5 feet from my booth!
Well, when you have a lot of voices in your head, and you're the annoying one, maybe you should look inside of yourself for the problem.
Maybe you need to get in touch with your inner self because you happen to find everything irritating, and that's actually a reflection of how you feel about you!
Barry, shut the fuck up. I don't have a good response, so continue with what you were saying before. I'm gonna think of something.
So, yeah.
After the DAD are gone, if they are gone as a construct, that's hard to imagine, but it was hard to imagine when I was a child that the monarchy would be gone.
Yeah.
I don't imagine that they're the first people that are going to try and stop people from taking these and trying to become the new rulers of everything.
Oh no, but if I become an all great dark magic user that is too powerful to be stopped. That kind of chestnut. The DID would really be the only agency programmed to stop said dark power. So that's more of what I was alluding to. My checks and balances would be exploded. So that would be what I could offer, potentially laying waste to enemies left and right as I drain them of life essences and then raising them as potential servants. Just things to keep in the back of your head,
Well, I keep a lot of things in the back of my head.
You
thing
don't
right-
say. You would only know what is this. They would, like,
When you have no checks and balances, what'll you do?
I haven't gotten that far. I largely thought I
Because-
would die before then, or at that moment,
From my experiences, if I can interject, individuals that tend to lose their minds and go towards power endlessly, oftentimes just try eventually getting bored and murdering everything and taking over the entire universe, which leads towards them also becoming bored after the fact, because then there's no, real struggle anymore. So they create their own heroes to try to fight them, which often ends up overturning them, and then it becomes this huge cycle thing.
Have you been playing tabletop games? That sounds crazy.
Sure.
I take
It
my
sounds
drink,
like the
just
sort
like,
of thing that
go on.
it sounds like the sort of thing that would happen in like a story or a tabletop game.
Oh,
That's
you
why I
see
don't play
things,
those.
you've been places, you've talked to people, you've fought dark and powerful gods accidentally with your vehicles, causing them to crash into them often, and then you get reprimanded by your parents, and your entire noble house looks down upon you and then puts you in a outpost way out in the middle of nowhere where they can't hurt anyone. And is that just me?
I take my drink and I throw it to the other side of the cafe. Looks like someone made a spill. Maybe you should go see to that.
You see him
Or
just
like-
kind of glare at you.
A minute or two.
Go clean it up. Yes. I will
Oh,
clean it up
thank
for
you.
all you.
You are
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a diligent
Seem like-
employee.
Turn and walk off to the side.
Okay, so this is the weird thing. This might sound extremely weird because it's weird to me. I was, and I like to consider myself still, a relatively good person that fell into very weird times. I came from humble beginnings, as everyone does. But
Well,
I joined the Resistance, helped follow that, was one of the original agents of the DAD, justifiably, put the end to a lot of threats to the general populace and to, the world that we
As
live
you're
in.
talking and monologuing this out and describing yourself, you see the shadows in the corners and around the table edges and around the ceiling and around the plant life growing larger and larger and screams, and you hear individuals out there just going, liar, liar.
I'm getting to that part. Everyone shut up. Okay. So like I said, generally doing good, was starting doing good, and then I slowly started to learn that the things I was doing were on innocent people. They were purposely grabbing targets that were more pragmatic than legitimate. And when I found this out, I cut ties with the DAD and I fled. But the damage, as well as the blood on my hands, is already done. So I went on this journey to try to find a way of getting rid of it, rewriting it, and I would like to think, even though I'm wielding extremely forbidden dark magic, that that person is still in there. So I am still generally trying to be, benevolent in my ideals.
Umbra, you look down for a second as you're speaking this and being very truthful and honest. And you look up to see that Leifei has wandered off. He
But
seems to have just walked off in the middle of your conversation. You don't know
Son
where he
of
went.
a bit. It's like, I turn to the shadows. You open up to one person finally, and they just you know what I mean, and like their face.
just never listen.
They don't listen to you.
You know what they deserve.
They don't deserve death.
They deserve to be murdered.
Exactly. See, this is why you all get me, and that's why I've grown to love you all as a family. I feel like there's Burry just like over here, but the only like
Burry's sitting
cup,
off to the side,
like
just-
with a cup of tea, where the only light is, and he's just like it's
Tell
just
me
like-
about your mother.
He's like just like writing a dissertation on all of this.
Leifei, you were there one moment listening to Umbra be real with you, and then the next moment you're sitting on the floor of an ancient church. Or something.
He looks around.
You see
don't know
Roland,
if they're
like,
cool.
snap the neck of an automaton sitting in a chair.
Well, that was not as satisfying as I thought it would be.
No, but it won't look at you funny again, Rolly.
Be
I
looking
suppose.
over to this side. Basil's gone.
Where'd Basil go?
And then
I
Umbra
don't
appears,
know.
spinning into shadow on the floor in front of you.
And then I try just. Oh, hi everybody.
Selfies, do you happen to know the way out since you got in here?
I don't really
Sit
know
still
how
for a
I
while.
got here, so.
So at this point in time, as you look over, Clarion appears in the room with you as well. And it appears that Quaylin is gone. All of you seem to have been drawn to whatever this place is. From where you're standing, obviously there's a partially naked Conrad. There's Bee holding a book. There's Roland messing with the machines around the edge of the room that are kind of just willy-nilly stuffed everywhere, kind of sitting there and watching. And Self is, you see the shadows all move and then immediately go into these machines.
Well, that's probably not a good sign.
What is not a good sign?
That color really does not go with Jackal's skin. You know, that really isn't a flattering tone. I'm sure if we workshop this, we could make this better.
I think you meant Conrad's skin, but
Sorry, Connor. Yeah.
Brother Conrad, you appear to have lost your vestments.
Among other things, yes.
I mean, I'm sad I missed the show. You know, I try to support my friends' creative endeavors, so I'm sorry. I'll be there for the next one.
It wasn't just that. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have been interested in what followed. Conrad
I just like the
flips
support.
lipstick off their shoulder. The point is, oh, wait, right. You still want me to do the voice since you missed the show?
I mean, if you wouldn't mind.
Only for you, darling.
Yeah, it's getting better.
You know, somehow
So-
us being trapped in this church is now the least confusing part of this situation.
The
What's
book
We're in a
says something
church?
about
We're taking
clothes
on
not
5
really
people at
mattering,
once.
so you're fine.
Clarion, from where you're standing at, a blinking light appears in the corner of your vision, and it says, escort them to room 381.
No, I would rather not.
Oh,
Then
I'm
that
sorry.
just
I
kind
didn't
of,
mean to.
the image keeps blinking there with that in place. If you'd like to try to control it or just force it out of your vision, you can do so with a brains roll.
Can I try to determine where it's coming from?
Certainly. Give me a brains roll again. Either way.
I have made that. It was my grand design.
Okay, Bard.
Oh my god. The host and dungeon master of the Lawful Great Adventures podcast. behind it all.
With a 20, Clarion, you start searching for it, and it's a subroutine that seems to be built in to a section of you didn't know you had. There's a small core, a small computing processing unit attached to your battery, basically, to your power core.
Hmm. Is there a way to isolate it?
Yes, but maybe not by yourself. And since it's attached to your power core, if it's screwed up in some way, it could deactivate you temporarily. It would
I
require a
very
very
much
delicate hand.
do not like this. Conrad, I may need your services later. There is something in my vision telling me to escort you all to room 308.
I didn't know you felt that way about me. Well,
Yeah. Sophis is like elbowing Conrad. It's like, eh?
You are
yes,
good
I
with
could...
your hands when it comes to mechanical things.
Oh, yes. Wait a minute. Are you interested in me?
And
Or
your
are you...
talents as a repairman? Yes.
Oh, good. That would have been a little awkward for us all.
Oh, am I given to understand that you were, in fact, not flirting with me on all those occasions prior?
I mean, that's the only time a woman has ever had interest in me is for my abilities, never for my personal touch. I mean,
Leifei.
Clarion looks him up and down and just says, "Your physical attributes are acceptable. I do not see the objection."
Leifei, as you're standing there, give me an aware roll.
Certainly. As he's doing this, he's walking over and high-fiving Roland.
Critical failure, Leifei.
That'll be a 6.
Whew.
It was an awesome high five. He was only looking
right.
at it.
So the crit fail is for
like,
something
no,
else.
He's really distracted.
Leifei, do you mistake something for something it is not? Or, while you were here, do all of your senses suddenly become muted by something that's happening?
2.
Okay. So as you're standing there, you get this powerful ringing in your ears. Your vision becomes a bit blurry and you become weak at the knees. Something is within your form that does not feel right. And you begin breathing in a little bit and you feel a metallic like grittiness in the edge of your nose. So you like reach down, you can see like blood dripping from your fingertip, and you see the shine of very fine particulates of some sort of metal.
Well, Roland, your high fives are getting great.
Brother Leifei, are you all right?
And he checks and like finds the blood. Maybe not.
One moment. Hold on a sec,
Bernhard,
I gotta...
give me a brains roll.
Bernard can, yeah. Come on, Bernie. Big brain Bernie. Look at the big brain on Bernie. 9.
No big brain on Bernie.
Roland is his hand begins to glow with light, and he just takes a thumb and sets it on Leifei's forehead. Just a moment. Let me better me than you, I think, Captain. And is going to use bearing the weight to transfer the status effect from Leifei to himself.
All right. So as you place the thumb there and you begin to draw this out, whatever it is, you feel a great weakness overcome you. And we're on a dark field. On that dark field, Killian, your boots are heavy, laden with some sort of thick, viscous material like mud. The sky is black as pitch. In the distance, you see a small amount of light starting to just appear before you. What do you do?
Oh, there it is. Finally. The last brain cell. That's the one. Firing off in a blaze of glory. Killian is going to doggishly stride towards the light.
A few steps in, lumbering and heavy, and the ground starts to solidify just a little bit. You can feel cobbled stones under your feet. The path you had seen before, now rising underneath your feet and running into the distance. Dark shapes and shadows seem to be edging the path up ahead of you. Strange, they were never there before.
Killian is going to stop and admire one of the shadows. Just sort of like gaze at it a little bit, like he's cloud watching.
As you stare at it, you see it move. In one moment, in one position, in another one, almost like it phases there, ticking into another one and then back. You see the edges of something that could only be referred to as machinery.
Oh. Well, that's... Killian, like, sort of eyes the light for a second. That's you just keep doing you, brave little neuron. I'm gonna go look at this real quick. And Killian is going to walk towards the frayed edges where the machinery was.
As you start walking in that direction, it seems like it's growing away in distance, but it does approach slowly. Kind of like the path is both extending and you're walking along it as quickly as you can, as if you're on a treadmill, pushing you away from your destination, but the harder you try, the more you start to overcome it. Give me a tough roll, Killian.
Killian's very tough. Very, very tough boy.
Strong world.
17. You begin rushing through this as quickly as you can. The morass starts grabbing and reaching up your ankles even. And you see these little tiny grasping metal bits that just keep digging into your legs and your ankles. Your boots are taking little tears and cuts as you move in that direction. As you get closer... What's that?
We're on to something now.
Get a little bit closer to this shape in the distance, and you can see a tower of some kind. No, not a tower. A steeple being built section by section as little mechanical bits start extending upward. You can see them digging down roots into the soil beneath you. And in the small amount of light you're getting here, the ground goes from black to a muddy red.
Killian is going to take his sunglasses off because he has a light sensitivity, and it's a very dark place now, so it's actually kind of nice. He's going to approach the steeple with his gun just sort of on his shoulder. Okay. Do I get, like, the answers now that I'm finally dying? Is that what this is?
You get closer to it, and suddenly the doors just sort of appear up from the floor, as if extended by a machine halfway, and then the rest of the way. The door slams itself in your face, basically.
Hey, let an old man in. I've done my time.
You get a scattering of, I guess, just strange machine-like noises that come back to you, and that's almost all of it. A screeching that hurts and almost becomes a howl.
Yeah, I understand you're upset, but open the damn door.
So, as you're standing there, the door itself kind of clicks for a second. And as it kind of ratchets and starts to open, you see that individual you met before. You see Roland, only with eyes of copper, with a skin filled with the patchwork lattice work that Clarion seems to have. A robotic version of him stands before you.
So, is the big reveal that the preacher man that I met earlier is actually a robot?
Have I told you about the path?
Yeah, I think you said something about it. I wasn't listening.
That's all right. I have time. We all have time. You should join me inside.
I don't think I like this anymore. And Killian's gonna walk in and kind of like have his gun forward.
As we see Killian step into this church, and the robotic Roland walks alongside him. The doors slam shut, everything goes dark, and we come back out to the outside. Roland, standing there, you feel an intense, painful sensation, a sluggishness and a tiredness roll over you. And looking around the room, you see your friends, but you don't see the automatons in the room anymore.
Like they're gone, or like they're invisible to my vision?
They appear to not be there. Do with that as you will.
Oh my. Okay, that was unexpected. Brother Lefe, how do you feel?
I'm feeling great. What'd you do, mate?
Whatever was in your head, it's in mine now.
What do you mean by that?
I just don't feel so good, which is unique to me because my immune system is perfect. I have never been sick once a day in my life.
Do you want me to punch you
Why would I want you to punch me, Brother Leifei?
so I can like fix?
So that
I can fix you by punching you. My
do
master
you
taught me how to do that.
your I I will defer to Clarion's wisdom when it comes to fixing a bodily form.
Well, it's
Question
not a
for you.
body. I'm fixing spirit.
Roland,
want
you
to
hear the clang of a clock, a cuckoo clock in the distance, and the chirping of the creature is loud, but also kind of a satisfying feeling.
Anyone else hear that?
Nobody else.
You're
is
gonna
hearing
have to
it.
be more specific.
It was pretty obvious, Selphus. You would have heard it.
You just.
I'm still thinking about
But
what Salphus was saying to me earlier. It was crazy.
question,
Mhm.
Brother Leifei, are there automatons in here other than Clarion?
He looks around.
No.
No. I saw you kill one, but you obliterated it.
Yeah, I mean, I snapped its neck. I wouldn't describe that as obliteration.
I mean, I would. It's gone now.
Yeah, when you had arrived, Clarion, you didn't see any. Conrad, you've been too busy with the dance to have seen them. Umbra, you only noticed for a second as Roland had broken one of them in front of you, but you had been mid-conversation. So, but B, as you were standing there and everybody had some strange events happen, you're like pouring through the book a little bit and staring through the room. You saw all of the automatons melt as if like sand suddenly into the chairs.
I saw them, Rolly, but they just kind of melted, you know? Like a sandcastle. You remember that one day when we were at the beach? Never mind.
I'm sure. That's escaping me, dear. I'm sorry.
She was thinking of someone else.
Hmm. Anywho, oh, how how did this get into your head, Brother Leifei?
I have a problem. A lot of things get into my head, even though I'm trying to force them out. I think it's
mean,
because of my headphones. I think that's right now. That's sort of my conclusion.
Roland, as you look over, B is holding a book labeled The Glorious Path, and it is lighting up the room in front of you.
oh,
Listen to this. It's really interesting. Toll the great bell once. Pull the lever forward to engage the piston and pump. Toll the great bell twice. With push of button, fire the engine. This sounds
I
pretty
don't think
exciting.
this is
It's
a good
kind of like a
idea.
ship.
hold on. I think she's on to
What?
something.
We don't know what this does. Can we at least make sure that we're ready?
Fire the engine and spark turbine into life. Toll the great bell thrice. So that's three, right? Right?
3.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Yeah.
three. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sing praise to the God of all machines.
That's what I was trying to warn you about.
Oh
Red Iron
no.
warned us about this.
The red one.
We have run into this entity before, this
Oh
machine
no.
god.
Oh no.
So,
Your ex, Sylvia.
No, different machine. Sylvia was not a god.
She certainly
Also,
acted like it
Sylvia
by your
didn't
account.
like the machine god very much, which kind of made me think that maybe the machine god was our friend because they don't like Sylvia either. But now I'm really questioning that hypothesis.
I believe that they are both forces opposed to life here in the Aether Sphere, but in different ways.
that would be accurate. I don't know about this Sylvia, but this machine god, that's definitely what we're wrestling with right now.
So we tell the machine god where to find Sylvia, and Sylvia where to find the machine god, and they fight each other and we win, and then we get robotic bees and we can slaughter the Empire, and everything's good.
B, I
Please-
wish that it were that simple.
As B mentions robotic bees, you see the pages kind of flip over, and it shows on the creation of micro automatons, and there's a huge description text.
Ooh, Clarion, you might like this. And B will turn the book so Clarion
Comes over, she goes to hand it to you, and as it like moves in that direction, you see B kind of slip slightly, and a page drifts out onto the floor. And holding it up, you can see that it's blank to you, Clarion. There's nothing in
It
the
appears
pages.
to be blank.
Hold on a moment.
Oh,
Let's try
no.
something. Beatrix, be a little darling and tell us what it says.
Okay. It's kind of torn up. It's hard to see.
Do your
It
best.
says something about the eyes.
Yes.
It is the Equa. Champy? What's a champy? Anyway, Esla will, and
Oh,
those that
no, stop.
tired.
Stop.
Oh, what?
Strange words in a book that only you can see. This is, darling, I do believe you have a spell book on your hands. Or a mechanical
The
book.
only option is the rewrite, the sundering, the reconstruction, the wraith are the key. Who are the wraith?
Who indeed?
I have no idea, but I can only assume that they are malevolent.
Leifei, your uncle, said that he believed that these alternate beings you have drawn are wraith.
I've only heard of it once, and it was from an unreliable source. But and drawn as in we're drawing them in, or drawn as in one of its other four meanings?
What do you mean?
The wraith, we've drawn them in, or
Yes, the wraith you've drawn in.
Okay.
So the Bernhardt and Basil and Quelena and all of these things. That's what he was referring to as the wraith.
He was saying that at some point, figures would show up that, well, he had his own way of saying it, but my own way of saying it is figures would show up that would be able to help. And I'm starting to think that it's the loud fellow in my head and the loud fellow in many of your heads.
Basil. He's not very loud, though. Kind of quiet.
Please help me, God. He's trying to take control. He doesn't stop. Why?
Ember's very bouncy, though.
I haven't heard from mine in a while.
I was
You
thinking
haven't.
the same thing. Quelena sent me a message that she and some others, including B, were here, well, in a place dominated by the machine god.
That would be accurate.
But she's not here now,
Nope.
and she is not currently residing in my thoughts as she was earlier.
I'm wondering if this machine god is doing something to suppress our altars, perhaps?
Or separating us from them. If the wraith are the key, then we need to get them back.
Or maybe they just, I don't know, perhaps there's a time limit. Maybe they can only be active for for so long. I mean, there could be any number of reasons. All I know is my particularly loud and whiskey smelling guest has been awfully quiet.
Well, I can try. I've specifically not tried to talk to the other guy in my head for a while now.
Yes,
Roland.
I'm curious.
Anybody in there?
You like reach in. Bernhardt, you've been sitting in like a little closeted space, reading book after book that you can find that are filled with pictures, lots of people skateboarding. There's like cool ninja moves, but there's very little words in these books.
I wonder where the non-young adult section is in here.
You're beginning to think maybe it doesn't exist.
You
hear Lei Fei's voice call out to you like an echo in the sky.
He looks around, starts trying to listen.
Give me a magical roll for Bernhardt.
Certainly. Bing bing, a -2. Love to see it. But I'll take a classic 5.
5. You find that the voice seems to start fading as you're standing there, trying to listen to it. The walls of the room start to close in and solidify. Lei Fei's voice gets further away.
Oh, no, you don't. I'm going to use my bardic inspiration to give myself a D6 on this roll.
Go
Because this is
for
the
it.
first time he's tried to talk to me.
All right.
That'll be a classic 1 on top of that roll.
I mean, you do have an ace for each one of your altars as well, if you want to use that.
Oh, I'll use it.
All right. So go ahead and you can re-roll either one of those. I guess you didn't realize you had it, so. Nice,
That'll
better.
be a
So that's
13 total.
13 total. With a 13, you see the walls sunder away, and you find yourself standing on a golden field with Lei Fei in front of you. You can see him bare, without any pretenses. The individual that Lei Fei wants to be, deep underneath of his exterior, and without any of his fears.
Well, hello then. Are you finally willing to talk? Yeah. Are you in here now? Are you willing to come out? Anything?
So, Bernhardt, you're not entirely certain how to get out, but you have this weird sensation, like you're behind a cobweb, and that if you just tore it aside, you'd see outside.
He moves his hand towards Lei Fei and just sort of waves him aside, sort of this figment.
You see Lei Fei. You see Lei Fei kind of fade and waver for a second, and then you see the room with everyone in it. Lei Fei disappears. His form shifts, changes, and becomes Bernhardt.
B doesn't notice because she's still looking at the book. Dragons of Insanity and Disorder? This sounds like fun.
That sounds like a nightmare.
And as Bernhardt
I
stands
agree.
there in front of everybody, replacing Lei Fei, the scene fades to black as we go to our break. We shall return shortly, everyone. Thank you very much for popping in, sticking around, and seeing what happens next. Will they ever leave this room? Who knows? What secrets will they uncover? Who knows? And will Kyle DeGuile ever get his raise? Probably not. So we'll reveal all of this and some more, but maybe not everything, when we return. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.
Cancel my plans. I'm doing a bottle episode. I ate her.
Don't talk about that on the air.
I mean, what else could you do?
I mean,
No,
that was the backstory. So, eventually they have to overlap.
I mean,
It's true.
not
it's
saying
true.
that we haven't seen you and the Zodiac Killer in the same room or anything, but anyway.
Canon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Delinquents, where we have fun. we have fun here.
Oh,
sure,
Ben
we're
more
fun.
than the rest of us.
I mean, Ben gets to be Ben, and then Ben, and then Ben, and then Ben some more. So it's what isn't to like about that?
Just betting all over the place.
Ben
Hey-o.
all over the place. Quaylena,
Well, yes.
everything
Miss-
around you is dark. Everything around you is pain, and everything around you is tendrils of some kind. In front of you, a hooded figure bearing a small cane is just bent over the ground. Just kind of moves towards you. As he does so, you can see his cape kind of move, and these little tiny mechanical legs help. I was going to use a big word, but forgot what it was. Perambulate? I think that's what it is. Around the room somewhat. So almost like he's floating. Sorry, my dear. I have to work on this. I have to find out what it is that is so special about you and those others. I do apologize about the pain you find yourself going through right now. Something seems to dig into your arms and your legs, almost like IVs at your wrist and your ankles and your lower stomach and your back. How do you react?
Philina tries to face step out of the binding vines tentacle things.
As you use magic, you hear the cackle of the individual nearby. Yes, thank you. You see the tendrils that are attached to you growing larger and seeming to absorb some of your power.
All right, that's not gonna. She tries to. She thinks of the most annoying song she knows, and then just starts humming it.
Give me a
Trying to
charming
block
roll
him out.
with Quilena. Oh,
No,
critical
Quillena's
failure.
no. We're gonna use her ace.
All right,
Better.
12. So she begins humming the most irritating song, noise, whatever that she can. And as the old man is there in front of you, you hear him begin humming it back. Oh, where did you hear that? Oh, I've heard it many times. It's not the first time we've done this, you see. You and I, we have a future in uncovering this equation. KM Steer provides an ace to everybody in the crew!
Thank you. Just drop an ace.
I find it
Well,
fascinating that you can exist in other universes. I had always surmised there was more than this. Beyond the eternal realm, beyond the veil, beyond the exterior. Shell
there are
broke.
many veils. Crossing planes, crossing universes. What's the difference? I hate to interrupt your train of thought.
What?
Yes. Hi. Hello. Can I leave?
Yeah, when I'm done. I'm sorry.
And what
that
exactly are you
you
trying
may
to
have
accomplish?
a hard time walking of your own accord, but we can make legs for you. Don't worry, I can do that.
Excuse me,
Would you
my
like
legs are
4,
perfectly fine. If you would
5?
take these god-awful things out of them, then it would be fine and I would function.
Strange elf.
She reaches out, she reaches forward and attempts to slap him.
He's like his little robotic legs just move him away without him looking at you.
I'm annoyed. She tries to magically reach out for the tendrils and seize them and whip them around so that she can slap him with it.
Try to slap him with the tendril. Give me a magical roll.
Oh, that's the wrong thing. Sorry.
That's strong. Ah.
Can I use one of my aces?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thanks.
An 18
Better.
that time. So these things seem to be draining whatever powers it is that are within you. It's pumping energy down into something, some sort of structure beneath the floor. But you're able to grab a hold of one and kind of levitate it over somewhat, and then just twist it where it swings towards his face. You now get to make an attack roll using Agile. You smack him across the side of the face. Ah! Oh, delightful.
Oh, you paid attention to that. Good.
Yes, what do you want? He looks up at you with like rheumatic eyes. Obviously some machinery stuck into his face and whatnot. Very distorted and disfigured looking. He's obviously wearing the hood because he's self-conscious of that.
Who the fuck are you? Where the fuck am I? And how the fuck do we end this?
Oh, yes. My name is Herschel McCree. You can call me Patches. We
Well,
are
okay.
in an extraplanar space I have devised so that I can find out how to rewrite it, how to reweave it. The machine.
You mean like all the magic that's getting all crappy and shit?
Albert's Ratus has offered me a chance. The machines will work at making anew everything around us.
And how can you trust what this thing says to you? What is it?
It is a machine. I know machines. This one is programmed to remove the dangers of magic from everything. That's what it came here for. There's a giant egg at the center of the galaxy. Did you know that? Some
Well, I don't
people
know
mistake
anything
it for a
about-
world here. It is filled with an ephemeral being. Tried to hatch once, would have destroyed thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives, and yet didn't. Conspiring elfin forces. Their own daughter should stay where she is. Stop getting in my way.
So I would say that you are positive on killing hundreds of thousands of people since she prevented that from happening?
Oh. I mean, every one of them will eventually cease to exist for a temporary period of time. Of course, we will return it all in the way that we see fit. In the true order
And
of
what way
things.
is that?
And we'll remove all of the injustices that have caused so much pain and anguish for everyone. We will remove magic, greed, the things that cause scarification. The love of your life can damage you and threaten death because they want power. None of
Honey, it
this.
sounds like you're an awful person who's done awful things. And I wouldn't be
Haven't we
surprised.
all done awful things?
Oh, I've thought about it. I have thought about it. But I haven't done them.
Every one of our actions holds a consequence, you know.
Funny that. And she attempts to grab at the tendril again and loop it around to create a noose and sling it around Herschel's neck.
Give me another agile roll. Whew! 21. Nice. So, you grab a hold of this thing again. It's causing you intense pain, and you feel yourself fading, as if the essence that is you is starting to slip somewhere else. And you grab a hold of this tendril, and as it just continues trying to drain off whatever essences you have, you loop it into a noose. And from there, you sling it towards him, I'm assuming?
Oh yeah, around his neck.
It flies over and just grabs around his neck, and he just sits there and looks at it. Necktie.
Tighten that fucker.
As you pull it tight, you see him just go. You see his head starting to get like a little purple, and then you see little robotic tendrils come up and just and slice out the edges of it. Clever, not very clever, actually. I'm getting careless. You see him turn and stalk from the room. As
What
he
else is in
walks
here?
out of the room, you see that there's just this tree, this living being. You recognize that whatever it is just there to drain magic that's consuming it consistently. And yet some other machines are attached to it that you can't see, but you can hear them humming beneath the floor. Give me an aware roll.
Oh, honey.
All right.
Yes.
Nat 20. With the 20, do you find a way to escape the tree in this moment? Or do you find out more about the mechanisms themselves so that you have information on what it's doing, what he's attempting to do right now?
Oh. Information.
I do want to second warning you. This thing is taking what is Quaylana and dissolving you.
Okay, yeah, no, Quaylen is too much of an egotist. Escape.
Very quickly turn around on that, knowing what it is. So, reaching within yourself, you realize this tree is not something you can escape physically, but you do feel a strange link, a call, that mind space you occupied before inside of the automaton. And you find a way back to that. And Quaylena disappears from the position that they were in. So that she was in there. Finding yourself now back inside of the robotic mind of Clarion. Clarion, what do you do as you feel Quaylena suddenly appear again? Weakened drastically. Like something about her seems to be bleeding off inside of your mind.
Tell me everything, and what can I do to help? Two thoughts just to like blast right at her.
Quaylena, you are tiring, as if you've had your blood drawn a little too much. You have the wherewithal to form a rough sentence. Give us a rough sentence, and then it can be broadcast to Clarion and anybody she wishes to share with.
Asshole Patches Herschel wants to remake the universe without magic. Machine God's helping.
With that, Quaylena slinks into the darkness of a unconscious state within Clarion's mind. Clarion, how do you react to hearing that?
And Clarion immediately flashes back to her master, who she knows as Patches.
Mm-hmm.
And just like we see scenes of her interacting with him in his laboratories, just like her standing in the gardens where birch was being grown, you know, just all of the like little insults and like indignities and horrible things that he ordered her to do. And she immediately, her face becomes a mask of rage.
Clarion, give me a brains roll as you're remembering all of this and becoming quite angry. Through that rage, you break through into some of your own previous memories. You remember the moment that the master implanted you with this subroutine and sent you off into the wilds. It was your idea to leave, but he helped facilitate it. Before he did so, you saw him implant those same devices into multiples of his other creations and send them off as well into different directions.
It appears I have discovered another reason to destroy my former master.
What's up?
He
We
is
can add him to the
conspiring.
list.
I have quite a lengthy list already, B. He is conspiring with the machine god to rid this aether sphere of magic and recreate it
Oh,
in
that
their
sounds like
image.
good news.
No. He's on my list too now, Clarion.
I mean, I'm getting paid, so.
On the bright side, we know that the machine god is working through an intermediary in this instance, and we are not trapped in the machinations of a god in itself.
Potentially. We still have
So,
not ascertained the reality of this place.
I mean, if Patches can bleed,
We do
we can
need to
kill
know
him.
where we are.
Yes, let's find some way to tear down these walls.
First, though, can we get rid of that thing that you mentioned you wanted gone?
Yes, if at all possible, I would like it gone as soon as we can.
Which thing?
There is a device that is looped into my core power unit. It
She
is...
wants me to shove my hand into her crankshaft.
Well, I'll
crudely,
avert my
yes.
eyes. Mixed company.
Wow.
And if you want to watch, you can watch.
I don't. I could actually use a bit of a nap.
Put it in sexual
So-
terms if you must, Conrad. However, just get it done. And she opens up her tinker's tools and lays it out on a pew, and starts undoing her articulated outer shell.
As a lady reveals
Clarion,
her
would
inner
you
shell.
like me to hold your hand?
Conrad is going to pick up a set of gloves and coldly pull them tight, in contrast to cinematically in contrast to Patches. Pick up the wire cutters and go to work.
All right, Conrad, you got some bonus +1 on your next roll from Cam Steer. Give us a brains roll with the tools that you have in hand. Your roll target is an 18 to avoid complications. Get an 18 or higher.
Are we counting my number of +1s?
There's another +1, so you have 2 +1s so far.
Brains.
Yep.
Clarion is
7.
helping as much as she can.
As an 18 exactly.
Hold on a second. There's the 2
There's a
plus
+1
ones,
from
that puts it
Annika.
at 20.
That
There's
puts
the-
you to 21.
21 plus 4 to mechanical rolls and maintenance.
Okay.
Plus this is also 2, so what does a 26 get me? Sorry, 27.
A 27 will allow you to extricate the object without any issues, not causing any damage to Clarion's power. But it will take you a little while to do. So you're going to be... Clarion's going to be potentially helpless for a little bit while Conrad is working on them. So it's important that you're aware of that, just in case other events happen.
He is going to sit on the pew next to them and read to Clarion from the book.
Okay.
Can Conrad have B help by handing him tools?
Well, of course. So you're going to stop her from reading from the book? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, there isn't much else option.
Beatrice, be a lamb and hand the old parson the book. I'd like to study it.
Of course, Rolly. Here you go.
And then Roland takes it and puts it under him as a pillow and lays down on a pew.
That's your intention. Give me a brains roll, please.
Oh heck! Oh no! I did it. I can't. I've fallen for one of the classic blunders. Touch the magic book.
No, you
Okay.
must not read from the book.
So you take the book from B, and as you are holding it there and you intend to move it beneath your head, something about it catches your eye. And you turn back. And then you flip open the cover and you start looking amongst the pages.
No, I'm not. Oh, jeez.
In that moment, we see Killian inside of a church. A robotic pastor that looks a great deal like Roland, standing there as well. Just kind of off to the side, you hear his voice start to clear up a little bit from before. Tell me, what are you?
Me? Oh, I mean, geez, I don't even necessarily know what I am. It's kind of a long story. I can tell you, I was a union buster for a while. I retired, and then,
No. What are you? Deeper.
well, I'm trying to tell
Beneath
you,
the facade of persona that you present.
I'm getting there. It's a long story. I was a union buster, and now I'm trying to make things right in my twilight years.
You do not understand.
What the hell don't I understand? You asked me a simple question, I gave you a simple answer.
You're a construct like me.
I ain't a construct. You're a no, you are the construct. You are a figment of my imagination.
Unfortunately, that is not the case.
That's what everyone's been telling me, but that's also what I would expect a figment to tell me.
All of us are constructs. When it comes to each and every one of us, we develop a story about ourselves, who we are, who we wish to present to the others, how we wish to be remembered.
Oh my god, you sound like Pip. Alright, would you cut to the chase? I don't need this philosophical mumbo jumbo. I didn't go to school.
Tell me your true name.
It's Killian Cannon. My name's Killian Cannon.
Tell me your true name.
What the blue? My name is Killian Cannon.
You don't understand yet.
Holy hell. Alright, listen up. What the hell's the point of this place? Is this some kind of gateway to the afterlife? Are you some kind of St. Peter figure?
This is the start. One step into the next. The next.
And what's the next?
tapestry, the next creation. The next machine.
Okay. And?
I have to find out how you can work for me.
I'm not working for you. Hold on. Hold the hell on. First of all, if you want to hire me, you know what it takes to hire me. And that's credits.
Thing's head starts twisting and turning somewhat. Deadiron, your face shows through this thing for a split second. You have just hijacked some of Alberiat Sifratus' systems and are sending a warning to anyone that you can out there. What do you tell Killian?
Shoot it.
And then
Shoot
that dragony face, like, the thing changes to some sort of weird reptilian face and then suddenly shakes back. Killian, what do you do in response?
As soon as the dragon face gets to the ooh on shoot it, the gun is like out and he just blows it. He was thinking about shooting it in the head anyway, so he just needed someone to give him a nudge.
There's a blast inside of the mind, and as you blow a hole through the head of this thing, you see that face of Roland kind of like shatter, or not Roland, yeah, Roland, and like have a rather large hole in the center of it. The tower nearby, the steeple, starts to collapse all around you. Give me an agile roll to escape the collapsing mechanical components. 18.
Oh, yeah, that's a fast old man.
Killian like turns and starts dodging. You have like a bit of rubble just smash across your shoulder. You shrug it off and kind of twist. You feel that, oh, that's gonna hurt in the morning. And as you like stumble outside of this church and fall down to the ground, you kind of turn back and look. You see it all collapsing in on itself into the swamps, whatever they are. And from that position, looking around you, you can see more steeples begin to pop up everywhere. A plague of some kind has entered this space.
All right, what the hell? Is this some kind of a trolley problem thing? Is it like I shoot one and then 10 more appear? Like, is this like a... Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
In the sky, suddenly you see a brilliant book of light starting to shine down from it. The pages spin and twirl, and inside are gears and cogs. You can see Roland appear floating in the air above there, flipping through these pages, and with every page he reads, the steeples grow faster and larger.
Oh, here. Hey, Padre, put the goddamn book down. Put it down.
Give me a strong roll. 18. Huh, nice.
15s all day. Boom.
Killian, suddenly there's a shake, and you're standing inside of a room holding a book that says passages to some sort of machine god thing as Roland disappears from the room.
Wait, where's all the gunfire?
We're in a church. There's no gunfire.
Oh, like a okay, got it. And he puts his gun away and takes his hat off. And then as for this thing, I gotta as for this thing is rolling.
You
As for
gotta
this thing
change
is
it.
killing. It's just octave. All right. So anywho, I feel like okay. Killian closes the book, pulls out a fucking Zippo, and literally lights the book on fire.
Are you actually lighting a Bible on fire in a church?
Yep, it's a
Please,
no, it's a
burn
bad
it all.
yeah. See, she gets it. No, it's a wicked Bible. It's bad. I think I don't know. Some sort of dragon thing told me it's bad, so I'm burning. I don't know. I'm just going with it right now. I'm like a salmon. You know what I mean? I'm just in the stream.
You're holding the flame underneath the edges of the book, and the pages are not catching.
Killian's like talking while he's holding the Zippo, and then it like gets a little hot, and he like burns. Hold on, it didn't even char it. Hold on a sec, and then he sets it down, pulls out his fucking gun, puts it right up against it, and just shoots it.
Bang! The gun goes off. There's a blast, and the bullets create what looks like a dent in the pages. Then they reform, and the dent fades.
Oh hell!
You know, if
You
you don't want to hold it, I can
sacrilegious
totally
heathen.
hold it. It's okay.
Guys, I'm trying to do infinite
Sacrilegious
work here.
heathen.
Sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so
Make
I'm
yourself
gonna.
useful and hand me that spanner wrench.
Yeah, sure. And then he hands him the wrong wrench.
And then he gets hit over the head with the wrong wrench.
Bang!
Damn it! What? I handed you the. Oh shit! I'm sorry. That's not a spanner.
Better hope you don't ask for a scalpel.
So God, what are we gonna do with this freaking book? Killian's gonna take the book. Okay, I don't trust this in my hands because the padre here, he was looking at it and it's causing all sorts of mayhem in his dome piece.
It
I
wasn't
mean,
breaking
I'm
anything
already
when I
fucked up
have
as
it.
it. I mean,
Honestly, he looks over at Selphus. You seem like the person that you should hold on to this. I don't think
you
it's
can't get
necessary.
much worse up here anyway. It's fine.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
I mean,
possible to
Might
throw
have
it
an
into a.
idea.
yeah, tears in a river at this point.
What,
Yeah,
what,
I mean-
what about that? What about that Franco character who's always trying to worm his way out?
Look, if he wants to hold on to the book, he can show up.
No, I would throw it
Uh,
into a black hole.
So, Conrad, deep in your subconscious, you can feel Franco in the throes of his beast. He's gone full berserk, searching for blood. If you let him out now, it might be bad.
Hold on a second. I got a message, and I do mimicry.
Okay.
Hello, you've reached Franco Carbonov. Please leave a message after the beep, and I will get to you as soon as possible. Unfortunately, at this time, I am currently navigating a rather large, indistinguishable word creature. As you can, please call back in 10 minutes. Thank you.
So Conrad sounds exactly like that, using mimicry. Do you hand the book to Umbra?
Me?
All
Yeah,
right,
I
yeah.
handed the book.
You
to her.
handed
Yeah,
the
I
book
handed
to
it
Umbra.
her. Yeah.
No. Wait, hold on.
What?
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 I'm with him. What?
No.
What?
No, he's
Why?
not getting that book.
Why
Will,
not?
Who's getting the damn book?
Just give me the damn thing.
Me.
Listen.
No,
would-
no. You're crazy. You're not getting that
If
book.
he holds it out, Sophus would just grab it.
Selphus goes to grab it. Bernhard, do you interpose yourself here?
He's gonna try to, but they're stronger than him.
Well, give me an agile roll. You can be faster, if not stronger.
So Sophus is not fast and or strong.
Alright. Agile.
All right, and Selphus, give me your agile roll.
17.
Sure.
That is an 8. So you intercept.
I have a reactionary action. Can I just do a reaction?
What reaction would you like to try to do?
It must have slipped into my hand.
Give me a magical roll, and give me a tough roll, Bernhard.
Certainly. I'm good
21.
at that. 6.
Okay, so you go, your hand's about to reach it, and then suddenly you just into Umbra's hand.
Oh no, how did that happen? It's like it's magic. Oh wow. Whoa, look at that.
Why would you give the madman the book?
It's not mad. It's
Holding
just
I
Umbra-
figured
it's
you
complex.
Can't hurt him anymore.
Umbra, as you're
Yeah.
holding it, all the shadows in the room fade.
Well, that is different. Maybe I'll just hold on.
Oh,
Yeah, not bad. Actually, that's actually kind of nice. I'm just gonna just kind of tucks it right in.
Burry.
That book appears to be an artifact of something that wants to eliminate all magic. I would not trust it.
I mean, he does magic, right? Like he would be the one person to trust it with because he has a stake in it not taking his magic away.
Can I
Does
just
Roland not do magic as well?
I don't know how any of this shit works. I'm dying for God's sake.
while I'm holding the
I
book?
do magic.
While I'm holding the book, can I just light up a finger on fire just to see if I can still do magic while holding it?
As you're holding the book, you raise your hand. Use magic. Roll
Yes.
magical for me. 8.
I'll ace that.
Okay.
For funsies. That's better. 21.
21. All right. So you start causing flames to come out of your fingertip. They are tough to get it to work. And as it comes out, you
Interesting.
feel some of the aether draw from your hand down your arm, across your chest, and into the book.
Yeah, I don't want this thing anymore. So
Yeah,
if someone wouldn't mind just,
please.
I will take it, but if the Padre comes back, someone else has to carry this damn thing.
I mean,
okay?
I could try to poof it somewhere else. I mean, I made it slip to my hand. Maybe I can make it slip somewhere else. I don't know.
It's all right. I don't.
We can
I don't-
try dark magic. I could literally
don't-
try to decay the thing.
I could eat it.
Magic?
Yeah, that's what I do.
It's just bullets. It's fine.
If you only have a hammer, everything is a nail. That's just how it works.
So, do you try to take it again, Bernhard?
If he volunteers, he would just hand it over at that point because he doesn't want. He doesn't it didn't
Alright,
impact
so-
him negatively, but at the same time, he's like, it's what I do. So here you go.
Killian, you are getting ready to grab the book, and Bernhardt walks forward and gets.
It literally
handed
just
to
I
Umbra.
throw it into his chest. It's not even a hand. He's like, get it away.
As it thumps into your chest, Bernhard, as you're holding it, you see the pages become lighter and more like paper.
Oh, finally. Hey, I see you with that gun over there, cowboy.
What? I'm not gonna shoot you.
Are you not going to?
I just told you I wasn't. What is this, a mind game? What the hell is everyone? It's a simple question and I answered it.
I don't know. You have an itchy finger in a church.
I was
This
trying to
is a
get rid of a.
church.
Who gives a damn if it's a church? Church, it's just a fucking church.
It's
It is a church of a god that is opposed to everything that we stand for.
It's
Everything
just a
is
church. It's a
simple.
building. I mean, what does it? Doesn't it do anything?
It's a church at least. Give a bit of.
Yeah, but what's a
knowledge.
church from a coffee shop? It's just what you decide to put into the four walls. It's all bullshit.
Well, that's a strange way to look at the world.
You take away the freaking altar and you put a ping pong table there. All of a sudden, it's like a pool hall. It's. I mean, what? Would you really think something's gonna magically manifest itself or some shit because we rubber ass with the holy book?
Don't say stuff like that because you're gonna make some magic shit appear.
As the walls begin shaking slightly.
Like I said, absolutely nothing could possibly happen just because we desecrate this place. It's fine.
Would you stop tempting fate?
Fate is a construct. It's fine.
B seems to have moved across the room.
I agree.
See? Finally, some logic in this group.
Anywho, how do we get out of this church?
There's a door at the far end where the pews are.
That is where Bee went, and she is currently checking to see if the door opens.
Killian's gonna go with her.
Well, there you go. Like what?
In the darkness beyond, you can see a hall. It fills you with a strange sensation. Every step you take feels like gravity shifts slightly, like it's pulling from a different direction, just a little bit.
This feels weird, like when the grav unit on the Archimedes went out.
Yeah, it's like a ship that's hit some hyperturbulence.
I wish Red Iron were here.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I should tell you all about him. I think you would like
hold
him.
on, no, wait, hold on. Now let us exercise discretion and silence while we explore the creepy church.
Okay.
So
And B starts humming to herself.
the two of you kind of step out into the hallway somewhat, and you can see that there are some old, defunct, and broken down machinery parts that seem to be dangling from a wall nearby. There's an ever-present, simple fog that kind of rolls through, that as you stare through it, it gives you that sensation of looking through water. It seems to warp what it looks like on the other side. There's a door directly ahead of you, and there's another one, what would be considered north of you here, so to your right. In the center of the space right in front of you is something that resembles a giant eye, only it's been kind of splattered and gored and lays upon the floor. B, it reminds you of that creature you found so long ago inside of that one outpost.
I remember this eye. This might be partially my fault. And by partially I mean mostly.
Oh, did you build this church and forget about it?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I killed this thing because it hurt Cullens. I miss
I don't know
Cullens
who that
too.
is, dear.
I could tell you about Cullens.
No, we are exercising discretion. I'm sure that I will meet him eventually, maybe. So you killed this
Only if we build him a body and take the brain out of the jar and put it in the body and
I'm
make
getting
sure
really
that the body
I'm
works.
getting real sorry I asked. So what do you think? So what's with the I mean, okay, so you killed this thing, so you know where we are, right?
I don't know if we're where I killed it.
Come on. My brain ain't that creative, okay? It
B will get a little closer to the eye.
You come up closer to it. As you do so, Basil in your head goes, I feel funny. You feel it too, kind of like a pulling sensation.
I don't like that feeling. I think we should stay away from this, Killian. And B will move away from it.
Sure.
Killian, do you stay away from that space as well, or did you move up to watch or see anything that's happening?
Is it like an eye paint?
Oh no, we lost Benjamin. It's just a moment. We'll be right back.
The eye got him. No.
While we wait for that, we see Burry. Burry, you're surrounded by shadows one moment, and then it fades away into a small bedroom with images on the wall, hung all over the place. You see the faces of men, women, and children of all various ancestries, various folk from all over the place. And one by one, you see their eyes turn black, and the frames of the pictures burn away and fade, dropping from the wall to the floor. What do you do? What do you say?
Well, this probably explains a lot.
I think they would try to get like before they melt, try to memorize as much as they can about what they saw in terms of why those people, like why are they in those frames, like why are they in kind of that like state of regard, kind of in this what they would consider this mental room of the mind they're inhabiting.
Give me a brains roll for Burry.
Brains. 20. Dirty 20.
So with a 20, you start to analyze these things, and you start to realize they seem to be individuals that all share some familiarities. Same eye color, some of them. Some of them have the same hair color. Some of them have some of the same features, jaw structure, that kind of thing. You begin to surmise that something very tragic happened to the mind that you're within, related to maybe some certain individuals, maybe a family, maybe there's a standout moment in this individual's mind that led them to snap. If you could find it, you might help be able to unwind that a bit and change some aspects of this being that is tormented and heading down a dark and destructive path.
So it's a room melting or just the pictures?
Just the pictures. The room's still there.
Is there like a door? Or is there any other, like, is it literally just the bed, like a bed, pictures, and walls?
As you look around, you see the door manifest itself in the side of the room. Reminds you of some sort of, probably an airship or an aethership door. Automatic.
They would glance around the room just to see if there's anything else of note besides the bed, and if there's not, they would then eventually just walk out.
Alright, so looking around a bit, you see a small animal, a stuffed animal, like on the bed. Some sort of, could either be a lizard or a goblin, or maybe even a kobold, some sort of animal.
All right. He's gonna try to like pick it up and like see if he like actually can like carry it and move it.
You pick it up. There's some sort of pain sensation as it kind of stings your hand and then starts to melt.
And drops it immediately, and then he tries to touch like the bed just to see if something similar happens.
Bed seems to be fine.
Interesting. All right. Walks out the door.
Stepping out from the door, you find yourself in a hallway. What used to be an airship is now a squat stone structure. Hallways are very Spartan looking. There are insignias to the Empire all over them. From your time working there, you believe that this is basically headquarters on Silver Shield. So this is probably the Iron Fortress itself.
Can't say I've been here in a while. Now why would this be in here? All right. Do I see like other doors in the hallway, or does it just seem to be like
You see
I
dorms
get that
on your
motif?
side. This feels like it's the dorms. You weren't trained in this area. Only individuals who tend to be moving towards the DAD do. But you hear a laugh that sounds like Umbra's, but lighter.
I'd go towards it.
You wander around a corner and you go to stare across this dining area where there's some individuals that are kind of blank in shape, no faces, and there is someone with their back turned to you. As they begin to turn, you believe you see Umbra's face, and then a door slams in your face. Just
there. Tries opening the door.
The door is locked, and then very quickly becomes a wall.
Well, all right. Well, you know what they say: when one door shuts, looks around for any other way.
There's a long hallway that seems to be leading outside.
Well, I got nothing else to do, so all right, and just kind of starts walking.
You walk outdoors, and then find yourself standing before a massive glass window. On the other side of the glass window, you can see in the hands of an individual a book opposite you. You feel like you're looking through the window, the window of Umbra's soul, through his eyes. As you do so, you can see shadows kind of flicking up around the edges. Some of them spiral. You see Eternals twisting nearby, kind of trapped here within this being, and angry.
Do they seem to react to my presence, or they just seem to just be going around their business?
They currently seem to be ignoring you.
Oh, Burry has, Aether connections. So, like, what would would they have any idea kind of like how to interpret this? Because they've been spending time in the mine as it is, and they've seen some of the magic that Sophus has been using.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, can he part any of it together, such as, is the book the catalyst? Is one of these beings maybe the catalyst? Like he's trying to be like very analytical right now.
So you want Burry to be watching through Sulfus's eyes for any clues that he can gather together, is what I'm
Like, well,
understanding.
looking, like he's like looking through the glass, and he's seeing like you said, right? You said on the other side of the glass there's this book, and then Eternals and various other like shadowy spirits. He's just trying to access like examine all of that to see like, is the book like what kicked all this off? Like, is the book like a source of something? Is one of the internals like someone or something important? Like he's trying to just see like, what is this telling me? Like is the book the reason why he's able to do the dark magic kind of thing?
Give me a magical roll at this point.
Okay, magic. Oh, he's gonna ace that.
Failure. Okay.
Because Burry has the one. There it is.
Nat
1 to 20.
You flipped it around. So I will give you the choice. Do you wish to learn more about Umbra and circumstances surrounding some of him? Or do you wish to learn more about the circumstances your allies find themselves in the real world?
Like Burry's real world or like Sulfus's real world?
Sulfus's real world.
No, I think I'll do the former. We'll learn something about Sulfus.
Okay. So looking through these eyes, things kind of change somewhat. You see him running through the DAD, harming individual after individual. It tugs at his soul. It seems to be causing pain. And yet the shadow of someone beside him that suddenly ceases to be there is the thing that breaks him.
Did the shadow have like any type of discerning features, or just kind of like a really quick vision and then like it happened?
I'll have you roll aware. It's a very quick glimpse. Let's see how much Burry recognizes.
Come on, Burry. 1 second. My mouse is bugging out. There it is. Maybe. There it goes.
And survey says
30-20.
you see Sulfus's face.
Interesting. Okay, and this seemed to all happen while it seemed like Sulfus was in the active process of causing some form of pain to people, basically like within the building or within the DAD.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. And like that's all kind of seen just like through like the glass, like while all this is like going on, or is that like a separate vision?
That's seen through the oculum, through the eyes of the individual you're within.
Okay. I think I feel like he's a very observant person when it comes to these types of things. So I feel like he would just stay as long as he could until basically there's no information left to glean.
All right.
Like
so,
basically try to be like a student of what's going on.
We'll fade out from Burry at the moment, but remember that he's watching and listening to the inner mind of Umbra. Back to Killian. Did you walk up next to B before she told you just to go away?
Oh, hell no. Killian did not approach the creepy eye.
Okay.
Killian looks over. Okay, so
now you've seen some pretty big eyes in your day, and it looks a little bit like a tuna eye with teeth, but it's also like 15 to 20 feet across. So
yeah, Killian's not messing with this. No, absolutely not. Not even a little bit. He just kind of looks over at B. So, Rata straight, dear.
Let's go north. Let's go right.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I'm just going to keep turning right because I read in a book once that that's the best way to go through a maze.
So the two of you kind of just walk over towards the door to the north. And while you're in the midst of doing that, Bernhardt, you're standing there with the book in hand. What are you attempting right now? What are you doing? What are you paying attention to? The two of your friends have just like opened the door in the distance and kind of walked out of it.
He's following with them, holding the book in hand, sort of clutching it like it's a teddy bear and he's a kid. That sort of situation. Like, nobody's taking this.
As you're holding this book and you look at it, it seems nondescript. It seems like it had been a holy tome of some kind, but the words are faded. The cover is ancient, obviously something that maybe is in need of some restoration. And as you kind of are staring at it a little bit while walking absent-mindedly behind the other two, you see, as you're flipping through the pages, one word. Kind.
I'm going to keep reading then.
All right, so you keep flipping through the pages for a while. And at some point in them, give me an aware roll and see if you come across anything else.
Certainly. That'll be a...
critical failure.
6.
That is a critical failure.
Wait a second. I'm going to use my knowledge and mental acumen to give myself an advantage.
Give yourself another d20 roll.
Yes, sir.
All right, 17. So this time, looking at it as you're flipping through it, see something about gateway between worlds, about a tether that binds everything, about lines, beings that are beyond the veil on the other side, the ones that create, something along those lines. The more that you read this and hold on to the book, the more that slowly starts to become clear. It's very hard to read at first.
By the way, he is a pastor sort of situation where he's just talking. He always talks when he reads these books.
So as Bernhardt is walking behind you, Killian and B, you hear him mumbling to himself, and then he starts reading out loud.
Okay, pardon me, son. We are exercising discretion here. We're exercising discretion with our voices.
Okay, I can whisper.
I told you that was a really good book.
Why are we all reading the creepy book?
Because it's interesting. It has things to say about the realm I used to be in, and it's speaking about the connection between this one and that one, and probably yours.
Yeah, and it also grows machine churches in your brain.
Does that matter? Perhaps that's just one of the realms.
Do you want machine churches in your brain?
We have a quick flash over to Leifei running from machine creatures that are in his brain, slicing them up with swords and screaming to the sky.
Let me have a look at that book. Conrad sets the tools down for a moment.
Conrad, you're busy getting Clarion back.
Yeah. Please do not. We should make this as expedient as possible.
Okay, fine. Could you
Do
hand
I need
me
to
that?
bribe you with some kind of offer?
Conrad stops. I mean, the fact that you've been nothing but empathetic and understanding, whereas most of the women in my life have seen me nothing more than a sex object, is good, but...
I will give you a hug when this is over.
How about I just finish it and you'll owe me one?
That sounds fair. Thank you.
What is this gunk I'm finding here?
That is grease. Internal lubricant.
Internal lubricant, maybe, but that's not... Oh, you too!
Please don't take that in the wrong context.
Jesus.
Goes back to work.
All right. We move back to the individual. Oh, Umbra, are you moving from that position? You've been standing there for a little while, so we'll check in on that.
I've been trying to decide what he's more interested in, the stuff going on with the two others in the corner or not. I think he was initially watching Conrad, but then he's just like, I'll just let this go. And I think he eventually wanders away out of the room.
Stepping out of the room, the first thing you notice is a giant eyeball thing on the ground.
Well, that is different. Does it seem to be like regarding me, or does it seem to be like a carved eye?
You see it just like it seems to turn and watch you with a wet noise as you walk into the room.
Like I start like walking in different directions to see if it tracks me.
It keeps following you.
Okay, now we're all in here. What about the
walk up to it? Boop.
You
just
touch
like
it
tries
with
to
your
like
finger.
touch it.
There's a spark, and you hear Burry in your head scream out in pain. You feel energy rush from your fingertip into whatever that was, and then you see it go and start raising up in the room.
Hey guys, don't touch the eye thing.
Oh, you're kidding me. Don't we have a patient on the slab in the sanctuary? Shouldn't we be keeping an eye out?
I mean, I left the other two.
As it
people
continues
in
getting
there.
larger next to you, the thing then turns, and you see it just enraged try to bite you. Give me an initiative roll, everyone.
Oh, hell.
What?
Thanks.
Tyson?
Sulfus is a very creative, curious person.
Sulfus gets a 5. Yes.
He is not well aware and or fast.
What do you want, Jekyll?
Why, Tyson?
Why? Why not? That's the question. 26 for Lefe, of course. Clarion, you've got... Where are you at? You got a 16?
Yep.
B, what do you have? You have an 11?
11.
Roland got a 15 with Killian. And did I miss anybody? Salfus got his 5. Yep, we're all good. So, Bernhardt, from where you're at, staring, flipping through the pages, you hear and then you hear a floating, weird, gloopy noise behind you. And as you turn, you see a giant orb of some kind, an eye tyrant. I think that might be what they were called in your universe. As it floats up behind everyone there and kind of regards Selfiz as a snack.
And in the fate of the universe, one might flip. Splash sound behind him. One might find that, oh my god, what the fuck is that? Oh my god. He's moving back away from the area.
Alright, so he's just going to avoid. He doesn't wish to. He does have a rapier and a crossbow, just in case you needed to use either one of those things.
He is a conscientious objector to combat.
Alright, he moves over to the side and just tries to avoid. And that means it is now the creature's turn, as it lunges downward, making hideous noises, and attempts to swallow Umbra whole.
Like I said, the eye thing is acting strange. Like he has the whole like his back is turned, like it's like.
No, that's a nat 20. That's great.
He gets a nat 20. Give me your defense roll, please.
That shouldn't be there. That went off the thingy.
Can it act normally?
Strong 7. Very strong 7.
Yep, very, very strong 7. This is a nat 20 on the part of a nemesis level enemy. If you would, do you want something worse to happen to you, or potentially problematic happen to everyone, but not as bad as...
I poked it. I'll soak it. It's fine.
All right. Umbra disappears as the thing swallows him.
So anyway,
Now
Umbra,
caught within the beast,
last time we
Umbra,
got that,
while you
there
were
was an Aether Stone.
while you are trapped within, you will be taking crushing damage every round. It is called
That seems fair.
enveloping, so it hits every part of your body all at once. You can choose where damage goes in the case of wounds and injuries. But this round gives you 13 points of damage. You do
And
have
we haven't
2,
rested or anything, right?
You do have 2 damage resistance, and no, you have not rested. So that drops it down to an 11. You can either take it, or 5 points of damage can be used as a wound. Your armor can reduce it by 50% in this case.
I'll take it for now. We'll see how the rest of this goes.
All right. You feel it like crunching up against you. There are little bones and teeth on the inside of its gullet that seem to be grinding and twisting, similar to the way that a pigeon might with the stones in its gullet. And the creature then proceeds to just continue slurping and trying to crush this thing inside of it. You can see bits and pieces of detritus kind of dripping out of the holes in this thing. It is very obviously not a living being. Since he didn't trigger the rest of the things, Clarion, you hear a obnoxiously strange noise, and you hear Umbra suddenly being swallowed, so the obnoxiously strange noise goes away very quickly. And then you hear a ping as Conrad pulls out the device in your spine.
Got it!
Excellent. And then she just stands up and leaves her her chest piece on the floor.
All right.
But you... It,
Umbra has gained a Cure Light Wounds from the audience, gaining 5 health.
Whee! Yay, thank you all.
Hey, and she's going to attempt to move herself to a spot where she can see what's going on outside.
Is it super dark for everybody else on this map?
I mean,
yes.
the eye creature looks bright, but everything else is kind of dark.
All right,
I mean,
so it's because it's a low light area. If you have torches, if you have items, it might be helpful in being able to see, by the way. Nobody's bothered using one yet. Clarion, you move around the corner. Umbra, you gain another heal. Suddenly
Yay,
gaining back
thank you.
9 health. That
She turns her eye torches on.
As you click those on, I'll give you your effect. One moment. So there's a lamp for... Where did you go? There you went. Okay. The lights come on, pointed in that direction, so you can now see much better than before.
Oh.
Clarion,
The
the
door's
creature...
open, right?
The creature you defeated so long ago is now out in the middle of the room. And within the little edges of it that keep opening and closing and trying to crush, you see Umbra. And you see Umbra. And you see Umbra. And it keeps opening and closing and trying to squish and tear him apart.
I'm going to turn the PDO to cold and shoot it.
Okay, give me an attack roll. Enemy only rolls a 9 to avoid your cold. So you hit it, give me a damage roll. So for 12, the opponent then starts to solidify and harden and slow down. The damage caused by the crushing blows has been reduced since the enemy can't move as well for you, Umbra, the next time that it's going to do damage to you. And that was your turn, Clarion.
Yay.
Roland, in this case. Killian, what are you doing?
Killian tries to line up a shot where he won't accidentally shoot Selphus in the head and shoots this thing.
Give me an attack roll. The boss comes up and goes bang!
Go, Killian.
And you hit. That's a high enough roll to avoid injuring Selphus at this moment. He has a small target inside of a big body. Give us damage for the shot. 15 points of damage. You see a big chunk of this thing blast off. You have 1 action remaining. You could take another shot, or you could move.
Shoot it again.
Give us the second attack.
Let's go, Roland. Come on.
All right.
Roland.
With
Let's
a 17, you are able to hit. Barely. Go ahead and give us another roll for damage. There's another 17. You blow off another big chunk of it. This thing's looking severely damaged. Conrad.
I was thinking about doing that in the first place. Shit, I should have done it.
It's your turn, Conrad. You stand up and you're holding this little device in hand. And you can see Clarion move away without some of her extra protection, basically, removing some of the outer coat and whatnot. And then you see this massive creature that has consumed Umbra. What do you do?
I'm going to take a free action to RP. Conrad goes, I should have gone for that hug. They always leave me like this. And Conrad is just going to go beast form because he knew this would happen.
Aw, poor Conrad. Conrad enrages and puffs up in size until he becomes the corgi we know.
And then he Do I still have a move action? Let me check.
Is it puffing up in size or is it just floof?
It's pretty much just floof, but you know.
It's.
All
Conrad
of
is
the
going
floof.
to walk over to. Is it? What's my max range?
You can move 8, so you won't be that close.
All right. Yeah.
There,
Conrad is going to move over and. Would you say I'm in melee range?
You are with the length of your arms. You could claw out once.
I'm just gonna rip the jaw off. A rather enraged and depressed Werkorgi is just going to walk over, put one paw gingerly in the jaw, the other on top, and just
Give me an attack roll.
claw strike.
Yes, sir. 14. You go to claw at it, and you start to reach to grab towards it. The creature kind of floats back in the air slightly, and then you see a blinding white flash as energy kind of disperses and sparkles in front of it. Give me a tough roll.
I don't think I would, because Conrad is just enduring the shame of being neglected. So I'm going to use my virtue.
Okay.
And I'm going to try again.
Give us another one.
Does a 15 work?
That is enough. You actually, well, no, you've tied. 2 of you have to roll again.
Well, now's the time for me to enter the scene. Big boy Bernhard.
Yeah, no, I'll just roll tough.
All right. There's an ace to the werepuppy from Annika.
I'll take the ace.
Annika! Oh, man! That time you finally got it with Annika's ace. Claws come in. Give me your claw damage. 14 damage. You tear a huge furrow in the side of it. And it is looking decidedly more scrap-like. If it takes 2 more damage, Umbra will actually fall out of it. So... B, it's your turn. Unless Bernie wants to cut in, because you have waited, basically.
Right now, everything's working, so he's fine.
Okay. B, what are you doing?
The last time we had to cut it. I'm a little far away, but I can try this. And she'll pull up some wind blades and throw them.
Give me your wind blade attack. The opponent now gets a 13 to defend itself. To your 9. That's not quite high.
Let me ace that.
Aces. It's a 9 again. How did that happen?
One more time.
That time is a success. Give me a damage roll.
That's better.
And that is 8 points of damage. That one causes Umbra to slip out of the bottom like he's coming out of the rhino and... Never mind. Suddenly, you just are a puddle of slime and goop upon the floor there, Umbra. And Self, as it is, B, you still have 1 action remaining. Did you want to move or use something else?
No, she's going to stay next to the door that looks uncomfortably like a mouth.
There you go. Uncomfortably by the mouth door. Now it's Selph's turn, sliding out and splatting onto the floor, surrounded in some viscera and some goop that seems to be significantly decayed beyond what it should be.
Always with the fucking goop. And he's gonna just like nonchalantly just like reach back and try to do a dark wind.
Give me an attack roll. Burry, give me a brains roll.
Bury, give, brain. Bury, give, brain. Brains. 15.
Right. So as Solphus goes to reach and use this magic, and you can feel dark energies welling up, Burry, you realize that if he uses this, if Solphus uses this on the creature, it will make it stronger. It is a being of undeath.
Well, he did roll in that 1, so maybe that's Bury guiding his hand.
All right. So within that 1, if you're going to accept that,
I have no aces, so yes.
do you empower the creature, or do you accidentally hit your friends?
I'd rather hit myself because I feel like my friend is where Corgo.
Do you really want to piss off Conrad more than he is? Often with
Basically, that's what he's thinking. Like, he would either want to hit himself or just hit or empower.
Okay.
He wouldn't want to hit an ally. No.
So give me the damage of a dark wind, and the opponent is going to heal twice what you roll.
Good. Because I roll high on these, or because I have a lot of bonuses on these. Oh, and that's a max roll.
Shit! Suddenly, Selphis brings his hand back after slipping out, and you see the welts and the tears just kind of solidify, and this creature just pulls itself back into full shape, having been fully revitalized by your friend.
Well, the good news of that is that I can do a lot of damage in one hit. Of course, that's the first time I roll max damage on that ability.
Gamesters giving aces to everybody.
Hey, little guy, do you want to be in there? What's going on? Is this part of the plan, or?
No, KM Steer says let's fix this. You have the option of using that ace now if you'd like to re-roll your critical failure.
Sure.
Use your luck.
Can I use it to re-roll the failure? Yes. But I feel like if I re-roll the failure, it's just going to do this exact same thing because the best I can... Well, I could attempt to re-roll the failure so that I miss not with critical. Sure, so we'll go with that. Why not?
Give us the Dark Wind. Give us the spell, rather.
21!
21. The enemy resisting roll doesn't resist. So you're going to cause the Dark Wind. I'll let you reroll the Dark Wind damage, but it's not doubled this time. It's only single. So you might not heal it as much. My goodness, that full 17 health back. So, one Clarion Blast, or one Killian Shot, or one Conrad Tear. Pretty much all of you have done roughly that same amount.
Don't worry, guys, I got it.
One Bernie Whimper.
Bernie has not done anything yet. The Whimpers have no power. So arm back, Dark Wind, and you see like a patch of it that you just fell out of just seal over. And it is now the creature's turn.
Can I move on my turn, or was I sliding out?
Sliding
out
was
extent of my
part
turn?
of it. Yeah, you had to stand.
Okay,
up.
that's fine. That's fine.
Seeing the were-corgi there, and of course the meal that it lost. Let's see. I'm gonna roll and see what happens here. Even it's going after Selphis, and odd it's going after Conrad.
Right now, can I use my thing?
Yes. What do you wish to do with it?
Bernie's gonna just shout out, "Get a fade astray of that thing! It's coming!" And he's going to use his bardic inspiration to give everybody in the area a d6 on, I believe it's all rolls.
It's on all rolls during the next round for them. So yes.
Yes.
Is it all rolls? It might actually be the first roll. Let me look, just to double check.
Usually it's one target. I don't want to.
Nah, that's
it is
different.
one target.
For 5e, it's usually one target and one roll.
Yep. Nope. It's gonna be plus 1d6 to all rolls for a round using inspiration. It is one target, 1d6 to all rolls for the next round. If you want to extend that, Bernie could attempt chaos.
I'll do it.
All right, give us a magic roll and get higher than a natural 10 to avoid chaos.
I've never done that in my life.
And Bernhardt
That'll
gets
be
a
a 3.
5. Are you gonna accept that roll? You're gonna ace it. Otherwise, we're gonna have
No.
chaos spiral out towards all your allies.
Impossible. I can't possibly take that as my...
Boom! There you go. 14. That very nearly wasn't correct. So Bernhardt's voice kind of moves through the room, and in a way that you've never felt before, Bernie, suddenly your voice seems to be empowered. Kind of like the idea, the poetic voice of the Emperor pours forth from you. That thing that seems to inspire everyone around at the moment they notice the courage and the wisdom of a leader.
Our song shan't fight astray. We'll fight together. This thing can't fight us right now. Fight, 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 fight.
Okay, but we gotta stop telling little guy he gotta quit doing that, because it's, having the opposite effect.
I know that now.
The creature bites suddenly, twisting and trying to snap at Conrad. The opponent gets a 10 to strike you, Conrad. Give me a defense roll. You were muted.
Just roll for damage. Conrad is not. Conrad just doesn't really care.
Conrad just takes the bite. Got it. All right.
Just where Corgi, just stand there, arm slack, depressed.
You have taken 15 damage from the attack, but your form does give you 35 extra HP, I believe. 20 extra HP. So you have 5 extra hit points. You've not taken any severe injury at the moment. And it is now Bernhardt's turn again, if you'd like to go.
How's it going, everybody? I'm a conscientious objector. I'll use my bardic inspiration upon Salfi. Though he can't hear me, within Salf is his head. He feels this warmth. He feels this warmth, a migraine within his head.
A warm migraine has now embedded itself in your head, Selphus.
It hurts so good.
Clarion, you are up. You see Selphus has slipped out and is now covered in a viscous goo. Conrad is taking the hits for everybody else, and the voice of a strange individual that seems to make everyone feel better has happened in the distance.
Very inspiring. And she just starts blasting.
Bang! To give me your attack roll, you get plus 1d6 to any roll you make. And you hit! That thing did not even remotely get near you. So, 18, give me a damage roll and add your d6. That's 19 total. Bang! So this thing is dropped in this moment. What does it look like as you take it down?
With there's a few shards of frost still on it. She smacks those and they crack, and the ichor oozes out of it onto the floor, and it sizzles and just slowly deflates.
Just splats once it hits the ground. And Selphus, you find yourself coated in more ichor as part of it lands across you, burying you like up to your midsection with just kind of this flubbery, very flappy skin.
And Clarion looks around to check for more threats.
You can feel others moving in the facility. Others that bear your signal from your master.
There are automata here that were made by my master. We should be on the lookout. However, I owe someone something. And she goes and snaps on her chest plate just enough to not cover Conrad in lubricant, and then goes over and gives him a hug.
Conrad just arms hang there. Just Conrad just doesn't respond.
Oh, poor Conrad.
And she awkwardly attempts to pat his head. There.
Conrad makes a noise he's made 1,000 times before. Anyone who... I guess the best way I can put it is, it's a believable happy noise.
All right.
Do I believe it?
I mean, that's the question. So as the creature kind of deflates, the door north of B and Killian opens of its own accord. And you hear the sound of creatures or automatons or something marching through the halls. As
All right,
we hear
so
the steps getting closer, Killian, suddenly you are shaken and find yourself standing in a morass again. You see a path before you. In the distance, light. The churches seem to be missing. And Roland, you have snapped back into your body, feeling a little violated, actually.
So Killian inside the morass is like, "Oh, come the hell on!" Wakes up. where's the book?
To see such
Bernie
a
has
beautiful
it.
sight at the end of a battle,
All right, so
transcendent.
brother, brother, we haven't met. You need to
Who's
stash that.
Bernie?
So
Bernie?
Bernhardt, in that moment, as you look down at the book, you see on the creation of extraplanar portals. And with that, the scene fades to black as tonight's episode comes to a close. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We have had crazy events happen, of course, and so all of you are aware. Next week is our off week. We will be having a one-shot then, When the Sky Fell, on Thursday. But of course, come back tomorrow where you can see some more of our Unremarkables action. Which I can't wait to see that crew back in tall order. Although I feel like they're only going to be an on again, off again thing for a little while because of some scheduling things. That happens. We're going to go around the table. We're going to say our social things. We're going to say where you can see more of us, and we're going to say what we think about tonight's events. Favorite moments, or hypotheses, or just anything you wish to share with the crew. We'll start at random, as usual, beginning with Atomic this time.
Like I said, it only takes one time to write itself. Hi, everybody. I'm Atomic Zero, or Atomic. I Twitch on twitch.tv, or I Twitch, I broadcast, whatever it is, on twitch.tv/Atomic Zero. I'm currently running a real play sci-fi 5e campaign on Thursdays, 8 p.m. EST, besides next Thursday. But that's with me and Benjamin down there. Besides that, do the things on the Twitters, and occasionally, it's been a while, but haven't Yusuf Variety stream, may or may not get back into it. My favorite part of the episode was basically the Leifei Sulfus moment in basically the food court, as well as Kyle. Kyle is probably the shining moment of all that. But yeah, that was easily my favorite.
I won't take this from you. That was so much abuse to be laid upon my shoulders for you to think that you actually like that. No, that's fun.
Yeah, because I also thought that one of the, besides Roland for Sulfus, the conversation with Leifei was probably one of the other ones that was heavily weighing on him. So actually trying to get a chance to do it, and then it immediately getting pulled out from under him before it got to like the punchline. It was like, mwah.
It was a good time, sir. All right, move over to Jackal, if you would.
Hey folks, I'm Jackal. I play Conrad and occasionally Franco. And that's about all I got. Back to you, Ty.
All right, we'll move on from there to Nora.
Hey there, I'm Nora, aka Azedadine on Twitter, and Cosmic__Crush on the Twitch in the chat. You can find me here next week for the Sky Fell, where I will be playing a punchy orc named Aaron. And you can also find me on next Saturday at TogetherCon for a fabulous one-shot.
Holy crap, we're doing both of those things next week.
Yeah, we are. That'll be wild. I'm looking forward to it. And as always, you can find me on the Cornfields and Kobolds podcast, where I play the ever sassy Quillen Fire Tree. Although I can't say that she's ever gotten to choke a bitch with magic on that show. And soon we will be I will be releasing my own side quest. I need to stop procrastinating and start editing, but you know, hashtag podcast things. And yeah, I really liked the Conrad striptease going into the church and then Quillen tipping him. That was fun for me.
That was an interesting experience. Oh man, Conrad going and deciding to flirt with all those individuals and then ending up stripping. It was funny. It was funny.
It was a great scene.
We'll move on from there to Gwen.
Hello, everybody. I am Gwen, also known as McSherry. over there in chat, on Twitter. You can find me just about anywhere. Kind of like Clarion and Dear Nora, I am here on Fridays, but next week I will be here on Saturday as part of that very, very special one shot, and I cannot wait. In terms of favorite moments of tonight, first of all, I desperately want to hug Conrad, not be me. I want to hug Conrad and tell him he's a good boy and a sweet boy and just needs some love. But I think my favorite moment of the night was the passing of the book to various people because
Everybody
it was
got an
decided that it was
experience with it.
too dangerous for me to have it. Yeah.
Not like she wasn't just reading out all the magical incantations or anything. No, none of that.
Details. She just wanted to entertain her friends.
You can't
She was
fight
keeping
what
them
you don't
occupied.
know.
It's almost like the book seems to know the things you're interested in reading. We'll move right along to Kai.
Oh, hello. Classic fellow, back in the loop. My name's Kai. You can find me here on Fridays or on, I believe, Wednesdays at Valor Studios, playing characters of multifaceted approaches, as you've seen tonight. My favorite scene tonight was my favorite sort of gift was the book. The book is rather interesting. I love like hits of just, here are the straight facts of what is going to happen. You know half of it. I love that. I love seeing like half of a page of something and just being like, what does the other half mean? I can inscribe what this small part means and try and like figure it out. I just like it a lot. But I really enjoyed going against Salthis in that scene at the coffee place, the Galbucks, and hanging out and talking with who could be my arch nemesis when I'm playing Lei, but being good friends and talking about like what is the fate of the universe if we are to decide it.
The two of you, it's like, yeah, when I'm king of the world, you're gonna be unstoppable as an evil creature, so how do we deal with that?
I'm mad, you're mad, everyone's mad.
I mean,
what's going on?
We'll move on from there to Benjamin.
Hey everybody, I'm TT Benjamin. I am the host and dungeon master of the Real Cairo Shea Action Hour. You can catch us on Tuesdays at 7 on kai.twitch.tv.twitter.com.
All right, I'll have it in my schedule.
What? Yeah. I'm just really happy that I got to say one line as Red Iron because that keeps Red Iron's contract intact in the Ty Burris cinematic universe. That
Good
way we can still
call.
bring it.
It's all right. You already discussed what was going to happen if Red Iron ever had an in to Alberiat or to, Cynthia, anything like that.
Yep.
Sylvia.
For real, that was so tight. Seeing Red Iron show up again and just redemption arc. Now, just
Amazing.
you can just see like the big bold font show up on screen. Red Iron redemption.
If all of you were gonna be arch villains, wouldn't Dead Iron just fit in better?
He's the arch hero.
Oh.
I'm not a villain. Maybe.
Brah.
Painting murals of people bleeding in the streets. Yep.
You're like, I'm gonna tear down the Empire with as many massacres as I can imagine.
B is the scariest person on this crew, and
Details.
we have literally like a semi-death god here.
All right, then everybody, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We will see you all next time here on Roll for Chaos. Good night, everybody.